I'm ready to go.
All right. Um. So where we left off last time, we had the party had continued trudging through the wilderness. Um, I think first, uh, Ono had once again reopened the Pezrian puzzle box and put the undead or necromantic emanating head of Cephacaltro within the box and reclosed it, keeping it on himself. I don't think you magically relocked it, but I think you're the only
No.
one who knows how to unlock it anyway. So,
Yes, I did.
um,
I purposely did not magically lock it. I put him on ice.
I've been watching a lot of Pokemon, so I'm both the pun lover in me as well as the pun hater in me have both just sighed. Is great.
Yeah.
Um, we continued venturing into the wilderness, and you found a clearing of sorts that had two items in particular, one of which was a small sled containing a few ingots, and then a larger wagon like structure with skis on the bottom attached where the wheels are for trudging through the snow, both of which had been emptied. You found a disembodied arm of what you assume to be Ubak, the one of the dwarves that never returned to Bryn Shander from the mission to bring the ingots down, and were not so much ambushed, but rather almost caught off guard by two Yetis who came in to attack. Irini and Atina being the ones who noticed them for the party to eventually lock eyes on. And you defeated the Yetis. Ono and Ibrin each skinned one of the Yetis, so you both have a pelt of Yeti fur um, in your inventories, and you both were able to gather enough rations to, I think, give each person 3 extra rations. And that's about where we left off. So I'm gonna let you guys take it from there. As you investigated the wagon and found that the wagon itself was picked pretty clean, and that it required initially a some form of mount to pull it down the mountain. But oh no, I believe put together an idea in his head that he would be able to possibly uh, repurpose the wagon as a form of giant sled.
Just a
Um,
little re-engineering. It shouldn't take me too much time. Plus, we'll have leftover pieces.
and that's where we're going to pick up as the three of you, or I guess the whole party, standing around the wagon. Matina, Irini, and Athros being there as well.
Well, okay. So definitely have to look for the rest of the ingots. Um, and I have to fix this cart, wagon, sled thing. Yeah. Uh, and then we gotta push it up a hill. Ooh, saying the math out loud now, I'm trying to think. Should we get it up at the top of the hill, then I fix it, and then we put the ingot, or do the ingot, then fix it? Ugh.
Maybe get it to just before the top of the hill. So we only have to pull it a couple of feet once it's
Right?
all heavy.
Like just prop it up at the top of the hill, set it up, build it.
Some wheel chocks then.
Well, I figure, yeah, because I'm gonna, I'm gonna like I'm gonna have to take apart a couple pieces, so I feel like we may have several pieces left. There is there a braking system on this thing already installed? Like, I know I did the full assessment of like, could I jerry rig this to make a steering column, but did I do like a full assessment of like, does this have a brake system? Is there a possible like I like a wire carriage kind of strut system I'm looking at.
Um, Seeing as how you rolled a critical success on your check last week, and this would be information you would have found out. Um, I would say that looking through the wagon, you do see that there is a compartment on the bottom of the wagon that has what appears to be some form of emergency braking system. The overall quality of its current condition leaves a bit to be desired, but it would not take much for you to repair this to whatever quality you wanted it to be, just in case.
I like it. Okay, cool. All right.
Hey Dakota, what's going on with my situation here?
You gotta take a nap, my dude.
Oh yeah, right. The party doesn't know. The party does not. I think just uncovered right at the end of the session that from Atina, mind you, or at least Ono did, that everyone's favorite large cat had ingested the entire keg of milk. Yeah, I'd say roll a Constitution check, and take a situational -3.
Okay.
Where did this keg of milk appear from?
Okay, so it was. Oh God. Oh fuck. Oh shit. I
'Cause there's
can't
a
even. Silvery
Keg
barbs.
under Aethros's bed,
No.
but I feel like we would have noticed Atina carrying a keg of milk.
No. Okay, so between this is the way I did the math in my head. Like, as I'm trying to explain this to you, I can see Big Toon like clutching his lip right now. So between Aethros and him, they had it on their pack. I thought at one point it was more comfortable and normal riding on Big Toon's back. I'm gonna safely assume maybe they did most of the damage, but I don't know. That time frame doesn't make sense.
Listen,
Are you?
I'll.
Big Tune, you're not doing too hot anymore. That the milk's hitting you pretty hard, real fast.
Yeah. I'll come in. Aethros gave me that jug that he bought.
Before you lurch, can I turn towards you and go, is there a keg nearby, Big Toon?
He gave me the milk that he bought.
Yeah, I figured.
Aethros would like chime in. I just thought it would be fun.
We both thought it would be funny.
I have no problem with this. I think it's hilarious. I mean, it feels bad. I feel bad that you're about to lurch or mess yourself.
Yeah. Well, is there anywhere I can waddle off to here, or is it just gonna be like, yeah, you guys get to watch?
You could navigate yourself around out of eyesight on the opposite end of the wagon if you chose to, but there's no guarantee somebody will not, while you're doing your business, wander into your eyesight.
With
Ebron's
how
just
he looks,
gonna gesture everywhere.
hold on.
Literally everywhere.
With how he looks, do I have like a time frame? Do I have like at least 5 minutes before he loses it? Does it look like he has 5 minutes?
I'm gonna say, oh no, make a general intelligence check.
Okay, all right.
If I did animal handling on Big Toon to tell him to not shit himself, would it work?
We need Arena to just halt.
Okay, all right.
Don't poop!
Based off of the amount of milk that you feel that he drank compared to the amount of time that has passed since ingestion, you give him a couple minutes, but nothing more than that. A handful at most.
All right, so I was murmuring this when we were trudging through the snow, but I had taken a piece of like the steel wire that we had acquired and kind of stretching it out.
Yeah.
So I pull that off of Big Toon's back, and it's kind of in this kind of like squared kind of U shape or rounded-ish kind of squared U shape on one end. And I take the leather straps I have and I put them on the loose ends of it, and I go, I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're going to try because this is going to be an experiment for later. And I prestidigitate that wire as hot as I can get it. I know it's not heat metal, but as hot as I can get it. I just need it to cut through snow, and I am going to try to cut a chunk of snow out to kind of like Inuit igloo style, take a block of snow out to kind of dig him a dugout and at least give him 4, at best 3 or 4 blocks to hunker down into this and poop if he's, to the best of my abilities.
I would say if you want to try, if you want to try and increase the temperature of your prestidigitation on that wire, roll me an Arcana check.
I would love to. Bloop. I'm gonna guide myself real quick because I really want to make sure he gets this. Okay, all right. Well, that's
You feel that the wire itself has been heated a bit hotter than what you normally can do, given that the metal is absorbing the heat, and you're continuing to focus your arcane energy on this. It's not as hot as what you would like, but it's a bit of an improvement compared to what it could have been.
just like I'm trying to get at least like just a foot by 3 foot square as best as I can, or a foot by 2 foot, just enough to get a couple of chunks to give him a spot to go.
You feel that the temperature that it's at right now, if you do this, you might be able to squeeze you might be able to get it done just in the nick of time. Big Tune, I want you to roll me a Constitution check.
Oh man, tighten it up, buddy. Tighten it up. Are you close by? If you're close by, I will guide you. But if you're not close by, I can't help you.
I feel like you guys came up to me at this point, so...
Yeah, I feel like you're doing the Fatty Umbalata dance near me, and I'm like, hold on, bud.
Am I taking any sort of minuses this time?
Keep the -3.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Atina and see how she's reacting to this.
Gotta be snickering.
Oh
no. Fucking shit, dude. How do you roll the exact same thing?
Oh, it's coming.
Oh god. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm going as fast as I can. You don't have armors, but you got a backrest. At least we won't see your butt.
There's me right now.
Atina is not currently on that side of the wagon and is choosing to not participate in this and instead is talking to Irini. Yeah, no, you got like you're at less than a minute, but it's here. It is here. You're clenched as tight as you can be.
I do my best.
You might want to do your best to get out of there.
No, I take a couple of the used origami paper and I'm like, here, bud, dude, I'm sorry. And I'll stand by within range to prestidigitate as best as I can. I only gotta be within... Shit, I gotta be within 10 feet of you, fuck.
That's the blast radius.
That's the blast radius. So yeah, I'm on the edge of the blast radius and I'm just like waiting for him to be like, bingo, and I'm just gonna dissipate the smell and the soilage as best as I can.
There you go. There's my other. There's my current.
That seems pretty accurate right now.
That's much more accurate. It's just on an ice block.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I couldn't build a platform.
That's all right. I appreciate it.
Prestidigitate.
As you hear them, as Ibrin, I would say if you're looking at like Atina and Irini, you would hear the sounds of Big Tune in the distance, and like they would eventually stop talking for a moment as you hear Big Tune like having a real hard time, pause, and then go back to their conversation.
I mean, damn it.
A bit more disappointment in their voice.
I'd kind of do like the pointer finger and thumb on top of your nose by your eyes look, just kind of like...
Doing there, I'm getting rid of the smell as best as I can.
I'd kind of turn to the cart and see if any of the ingots that are missing from the 50 that we found around there, or if this was actually maybe pulled by like an axe beak or an animal as well.
Okay, so you're... if you want to do an investigation on this one, I would say do it with advantage, since Ono already... had also, I'm assuming, conveyed his information.
I did. I mean, there's trail marks, the best of, what I could describe.
Yeah, so, kind of like what Ono had mentioned to you already, this was pulled by some form of, like, four-legged creature, probably a form of deer, and...
Do I see where the tracks went with my passive 16?
No, because there are no tracks coming from this wagon. Whenever this happened, it happened several days ago, so it's been filled in by snow since then.
We had like a general direction of like, because the cart is pointed in one direction.
Yeah, you could make your assumptions on where they...
leading away from the cart too, then, right?
Yes, that's something I didn't cover in our recap, was that you did see a set of two much more recent tracks heading off parallel from each other, northwest away from the cart.
Which I would like to, yeah, as I'm still probably struggling. Yeah. Oh no, I think we need to follow this tracks once I'm done here.
Okay, and like around the corner, I have no idea how many you've used, but I basically fly a crane over to you, and like you see one kind of coast down to you and become inert in your
I
like
haven't
lap.
even, I haven't even had a chance to use the ones you already gave me yet.
I don't know. I don't know. But as
It's
soon
like
as
a faucet. Turn it off.
no, as soon as it becomes inert, there's like a gentle like floral smell. As I know it, I know when it becomes inert, so I'm like, cool. I know where it is, and I cast precipitation to make it smell like a fucking like aerosol.
Big Tune, I want you to make one more Constitution check for me. No penalties on this one.
Because you
Please
expelled
don't
all the
guide me.
penalty.
Yeah,
I
please don't
can't.
guide
I
me.
have to touch you, and
I know, that's what I'm saying. Please don't.
I don't and I don't have that magic just yet.
You feel as though you have closed the tap.
Shit.
Start cleaning up here.
Prestidigitate, prestidigitate.
I am going to say, though, given the amount of milk you have ingested, as well as this whole fiasco in these very low temperatures, take 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh, buddy.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't sleep either, so.
Yeah, you're a hurting unit right now. Not so much physically, but in other ways, this would be a bit fitting. One level of exhaustion, I believe, is on. It's just ability checks, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the
believe
attribute,
so, yeah.
attribute page. I see it. I just typed a
Perfect.
1 in there.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to affect anything as far as like on that page, but hopefully it does. That it needs to.
As Big Tune, you are eventually able to return to a normal walking stomach, not as upset state, and rejoin everybody currently around the wagon.
No, side note, I'm a bit hungry now.
I mean, I can't even. That's impressive at this point. I prestidigitate that mess spot as clean as I can. I ray of frost the hole.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Let me make your job easier. Since I'm part cat, as soon as I stand up, I absolutely started kicking snow.
Oh my god. The first couple of days, I turned to Ebron. The first couple of days, this is kind of endearing. Now I'm finding out that this is becoming more interesting, learning about his culture and like mannerisms. This is like I have my pen, scribbling notes.
What do you mean? Is this would you guys not be doing this?
Well, I mean, racially and culturally, that doesn't not. It's not a faux pas as much as it is. I mean, it's expected out of you. Like I know that certain tieflings. I mean, they'll do it in the side of a volcano if they live underground. So that's not like a big deal. Right?
And generally speaking, and Atina would chime in, at least in my experience, elves don't go out of their way to consume something that they might have an allergy to.
100%, yeah.
Good.
But they don't use any central plumbing. They just magic it all away.
It's quite remarkable, really.
It tastes good. What do you want from me?
Look, I don't blame you. Taste is a thing. We have to figure out. I'm working on this. Okay, you're clearly you have a problem with this.
Ben, you missed it.
Oh.
I mean, in the best way possible, Ben. You probably missed you missed it.
I feel like Aethros would have been just like 5 feet away making direct eye contact with Big Tomb as he's just vacating everything.
My 3 checks, Ben, went as followed. Immediate first one, 4.
Hard
Ooh.
4.
Which,
Yeah, I see that.
which turned it into, you're running out of time.
to the speed of trying to make a toilet for this man.
And then it was, yep, nope, still running out of time. Running out of time even faster.
Well, just dig a hole in the snow and go.
That's
But
what we did.
hold on. hold on, that's where I now kind of have. I mean, depending, I'm gonna need more concentration, but I have a way to kind of make us snow blocks, so we can kind of build an igloo as a shelter tonight. Boom.
I have a tent.
I mean, in the way of insulation, the tent inside of the igloo actually makes it a warmer space. So,
What, 8 blankets?
Can I join you in the tent?
I mean, layers are good. I'm just saying the cover.
Anyways, like I
Anyway.
said, we should probably follow these tracks.
Yeah, are you
be-
okay to follow these tracks?
Yeah, we'll be fine. Still, I just like yeah.
Okay,
Well,
all right.
We have the 50 ingots from the cart. There's none on this big sled, though, correct?
Yeah, the sled is devoid of pretty much anything. I did a thorough walkthrough, and Ono kind of like jumps up after cleaning up and everything. And like,
No, it's empty. Just got a couple things to fix on it, so kind of look back.
So do we want to move everything to where we're going? Do we want to scout there first and come back?
So the northwest. So we need to go southwest by the time we have everything. So
I mean, we could take the time to move the sled we're going to use up to the top of this like valley, this little hill, and prepare it for me to fix and do all the things stuff later. At least that's one thing off of the checklist. And
Or
then
should we at least move the big sled by the cart, and then we can follow these tracks wherever they lead to?
I mean, that's fine too.
Yeah,
Also-
can I just see if I can move the big sled on my
Shouldn't-
own?
shouldn't we take? Why don't we take the?
If you do that, I guide you.
Athros, make a athletics check if you want to try.
You got this, big man. He's-
Athletics. I got guidance, it sounds like.
Yep, I guide you.
Alright, I got this.
Oh, that was flipping close. That was good.
As you feel your muscles digging onto where the mounts would have been connected to try and pull this sledded wagon, you feel yourself digging into the snow as physically you feel as though you're moving the sled, but in all actuality you're moving yourself downward into a deep pile of snow.
I'm gonna look at Bictoon and be like, all right, get on the other side of the back. I'll get on the other side. Let's both push at the same time. Ready?
What I was gonna say is we should probably just move these ingots onto the big boy sled, take the little one, follow those tracks. That way we can actually bring the rest of it back if it's just like sitting on nothing.
Actually, yeah, I love that idea. That's perfect.
Well, aren't the tracks coming from the little one?
Yes.
So why not move the cart over the big cart to the smaller cart? That way we can just load it there
Because
and
clearly,
then follow the tracks from there.
I don't think this thing's going to move very well until it gets fixed.
I mean, yeah, it would be better if I fixed it. It would definitely. I mean, it's not immovable right now. It'll move.
Athros is by no means weak, and I swear to God, he might have pulled it backwards somehow.
I don't think.
and I do a quick measurement.
Okay, an inch backwards, but that's I think only because he was trying to pull himself out of the snow.
So I mean, I don't think this thing is going anywhere anytime soon. I don't think anybody's going to come up and swoop in behind us and grab it.
With that being said, maybe we should put the 50 we currently have under the sled.
Yeah.
And then we can kind
That's
of hide
obvious.
it. Yeah, and we can kind of hide it with like snow and then like a blanket or something. And
It's just-
then
Be careful where we put it. I don't want to uncover anything.
I got rid of that. It's fine. It's okay. It literally like if you look at the area in which you used as a quick facility, it is iced over and it's gone. I magicked that shit away to sigil. Yeah, and on the top of the cart, I sit down for a second. I'm like, and I like
take my pen and I do really angry eyes on a dog and pop him down and I go, guard, and you just kind of see a little paper dog kind of just go into a guard position.
Well,
Tell
before we go, do you have anything that could fly to the southwest and maybe do some recon for us?
I mean, I can fly a crane, yeah, but I have to have a location. I need a hard location. So
not just a direction.
yeah, like I need to name like an actual specific, like if it was going like, you know, the blacksmith shop in Termalane or something like that, or you know what I mean?
Like when we got here and you sent one down to the driver's seat.
Yeah, 100%. Because I know that location. Yeah, I just have to physically know the actual spot. That's, I mean, yeah.
How far can we see right now, Dakota?
Out to about, I believe I had. Let me see where I had it set at last time.
I think you said 100 feet or maybe 60 feet, one of the two. Like,
I do something.
like with how long it took us to get to here, getting off the main road, it's just the likelihood of anybody being behind us is next to nothing.
I'm about to. Here comes the gif in my head. God, can I do something ridiculous?
Please explain.
Okay.
What 100
Build a
feet is
crane
the
big
answer?
enough. Build a crane big enough so you can go on top of it and fly.
No. Well, that's a great idea. I'm not discouraging it. No. I begin to fold up. I take a piece of paper and I begin to kind of like look over the folds of how I do a certain one, and in a spot where I know an object is going to be, I kind of trace out like an arcane kind of small circle on this piece of paper, and I take one of my rasps out of my blacksmith kit and shave off some iron filings off of a corner of an ingot, and uh, if you'll allow me, I will magically bind it to this small piece of paper in this small section and begin to origami a samurai, but instead of the samurai sword, it is a book, and I am gonna try to dump as much dumb magic into this. I'm like, this doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna see if it works. And I'm going to try to get my samurai to, instead of look for a specific castle or fort, to try to trick it into thinking it is looking for a larger stockpile of what would be bricked ingot. So it's like you're looking for a fort, but the building is made of ingot. Like I'm trying to trick him. Will you allow me to make? I don't care what roll you let me do. God, I'll do them all. I don't care.
Okay. As you're casting your spell, you're going to make 2 rolls for me.
God, yes.
First, you're going to make an Arcana check,
Got it.
and you're also going to make a Deception check.
Okay. So I will do my Arcana check normally, and then I will guide myself on the Deception. So, straight up Arcana. Okay. And I'm gonna make a deception check. This is so ridiculous. And I'm gonna guide myself. Okay. I can't convince myself.
As you you take the time and you like embed some of the iron within your piece of paper to cast your little samurai again, you feel that you feel as though your intentions might be working, as when the samurai points his sword, instead of pointing north towards the Dwarven Valley that it had previously, right, it begins to point in the direction of the tracks, the large ones that have been there probably for the last day or two.
So my quill is kind of hovering above my head, and I throw my arms up in the air and grab my quill, and like sparkles come down, and I go, yes!
Oh, okay. So he's not a samurai. He's a cartographer, or maybe a civil engineer. I'm not really sure. At this point, he's kind of pseudo civil samurai engineer cartographer. Yeah.
Okay, and he should start marching.
As you direct him to march, he begins moving the direction of those ingots.
Oh,
What you
Wait.
assume to be those ingots.
oh, oh! And I looked back at the group. I'm like,
Okay. We go.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've been saying literally this whole time. So
I
like
mean,
like don't get me wrong, I'm super impressed, but like making this way more complicated than it needs to be. There's
well, I mean, this is
tracks.
like I said, I was muttering this is a dumb experiment, but at this point, I'm kind of like saying,
Yeah,
I'm making a note. I'm like making a dent in there. In my notes, I'm like, all right. So yeah, like I prestidigitate everybody warm, and I'm like, all right, let's rock and roll, gang.
I will absolutely hold a hand down if you want to climb up. I know
Oh
it's
yeah, yeah.
I know it's a danger zone, but
Yes, no. I happily take the lift. I pop up and yeah, because they can walk on the snow, so it's not that the samurai is encumbered in any way. It's 5 feet, so meh.
Right.
And then I
Oh.
guess yeah. So I currently have the dog out. I gotta keep track of these because I can only have 5 up at a time. So the dog is out right now guarding the wagon. And we've got our samurai cartographer up as well. Sick.
Okay.
Let's go.
Onward!
All right. So as you I want to say the next probably how fast can he move? Is it like 10 feet per round?
It's literally the samurai has a movement of a speed of 5 feet, so we're going kind of slow.
Which
So-
I mean, we're in the snow anyway. We weren't going that fast to begin with.
Yeah.
Thought process. What if Big Tune scoops the snow that the samurai's on in his paw, and long as like the samurai's pointing a certain direction, we can just walk our speed at that direction. Would that work? God.
Like kind of treadmill. Could I? Oh yeah. Could I make like? Okay.
Well, just Big Tune
Wait.
literally just needs to scoop the snow
Ebron, do you
underneath
say
the
that out loud?
samurai.
Ebron, say it out
Right.
loud.
So
Just-
could Big Tune just like scoop the snow and have the samurai on top of it and just
I-
make sure it doesn't fall off the snow and we walk that direction versus
Turn and
Pitter
look at
pattering.
Aethros, and I'm like, can you irradiate his hands so I don't harm him?
Irradiate his hands?
we
Like
were-
yeah, yeah, no, you know what I mean. Like, can you? I don't want to say. I don't. Maybe cast light. I don't know. But is there like? Could you imply warmth?
Irradiate? Nope. Don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's a big word. Okay. Can you magically warm his hands with your faith power? Without
we're
getting
in
tired.
Incredibly deep snow. Like we don't need to over-engineer this.
No,
It's
because
okay if we would just walk slow for a few minutes.
I can't make it warm.
Okay, fine. And then, all right, take a deep breath. Here it comes. And I try to make a small chunk of ray of frost in front of us directly and
crack it. Take a piece. Hold it in your hand. I was just trying to make it so that you didn't have, freezer burn.
and then we're going to see if the little samurai walks on ice.
You guys are giving me, Nick, a level of exhaustion right now.
Look,
Um,
my chaotic energy has to be as ridiculous as possible.
Like, tracks in the snow, guys. Let's
Like,
just walk.
let's-
It's okay.
Let's just follow the tracks. It's not like the tracks are going to magically disappear
I
and
mean,
we're going to lose them.
not magically, but snow.
We were
but-
walking slow to begin with because of how deep the snow is. It's not like we're going to be fucking sprinting ahead of this thing.
We could.
No, we can't.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah.
It took us 4 hours to go like an hour's worth of travel.
Well, let's stop wasting time then. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't argue
I
with
start
Aethros.
marching.
Yes.
Like, let's just go. It's okay.
I'm like massaging
I'm
your
gone.
mane.
I'm already taking off. I'm done with this. He'll catch up to me.
Yeah.
I pull out a small tinkering toy and I just start fiddling with stuff.
Go ahead. Continue.
Big is losing all of his sanity right now.
You need sleep.
We just need to do stuff. I'm sick of just standing here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Go.
All right,
go.
you're all going to follow the tracks, or are we following the samurai, or a bit of both?
I mean,
Little
hypothetically,
column A,
both.
little column B.
Like, I mean, follow the tracks, assumedly because the samurai is following the tracks. If it changes, I'll keep following it that way too.
Yeah, and as you walk, the samurai are booking it. You guys and leisurely pace through the snow. You see that at one point, as you're traveling, maybe about 2 hours into this stretch, the samurai's sword begins to move, venturing away from the actual tracks themselves. As you are approaching almost like a hillside, again, with all these mounds of snow and rock, the samurai itself, the incline not being too much for it to currently climb, takes what appears to be the straightest route to get to your assumed destination versus continuing to follow the tracks themselves, and ventures off of the track path, starting to climb up a little hill.
Let's go. I ain't stopping.
No, I mean, just keep following the tracks, because I mean, this is gonna kind of compass around. So
Yeah.
In theory, yeah.
All right, as we are cresting like the apex of the hill, I want everyone to make a perception check.
Oh, thank God. Does anyone have a Big Tune? What's your perception?
I got a +3.
Okay, I got a +4. I'm gonna guide myself. Sorry, bud.
It's all good.
Oh fuck! I should have guided you. Nope. I should have guided Ebron. Should have guided Ebron. Look, you have ice in your fur.
No, I'm just tired.
No, I know. You need a nap. You need sleep. Ebron, please tell me you see something good.
My guy's just gonna be in the back of the party annoyed, smoking a pipe.
As you begin to crest the top of the hill, you see a light source coming from kind of like the residual light emanating up into the sky, as the sky is not lit very well. Your vision still limited to about 100 or so feet, but you're able to make out, as you crest the top of the hill, it looks like there is something large stretching through the snow, almost looking like a very, very I'm trying to come up with better words than large, wagon, being pulled by two things you can't really make out, as it's currently making its way around this hill, moving very, very slowly.
Okay, so a lit wagon being pulled by two large creatures, or Bromdignagian, or ridiculous, whatever. And we don't see a driver, or do?
Well, I don't think any of us but Ebron see it.
We don't see it.
Well, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Are you Ebron? Are you relaying this to us, or are you just like chilling with the pipe?
Just chilling with the pipe.
All right, that's fair.
Atina would kind of chime in. I have a feeling these are where your ingots are being held.
Well, yeah, I thought we were following the tracks, so why are you guys stopping? Let's go.
I mean, that's a moving cart.
I never planned on stopping.
Yeah, I didn't see anything, so I didn't stop.
Yeah, no, we're all kind of like, hey, reason to stop.
Yeah, as long as that samurai kept moving towards that light source, I kept moving towards it, whether I can see it or not.
Ebron, as you are kind of smoking your pipe, you take a moment to kind of look up in the air, some of the smoke from your pipe fluttering away, and you see about 150 feet up in the air, just a very, very small moment of clarity, as there appears to be some form of creature flying around. You can't keep an eye on its exact location, as the clouds seem to kind of I guess, hinder your ability to see that far for very long. But in occasional glimpses, you see this object of sorts flying around occasionally on the left and the right of the party before disappearing and, I guess, moving out of your vision.
I guess I would take a puff from my pipe here. Hey, oh no. Can you craft something that can fly up in the air real quick? I have a feeling we're not alone.
I mean, again, I could, but I mean that I have to give it a spot to fly to.
100, 200 feet up, straight up.
That does not compute. I
You
cannot
can't just tell it to go upwards.
No, I need a hard location. If there was a flying city directly above us that I knew of, yeah, 100%, totally could do it. I can't.
If I were to throw something, could you tell it to teleport there or fly to there?
I will say that's a hard no. I'm pretty sure I know the extent of my magic. I don't think it'll. It's got to be a location, sir. Sorry.
Well, the location would be my dagger.
I mean, I guess. Let me try. Yeah, I give it a shot. Trying to read. Mentally direct a crane to move, comma, or name a location within a mile that I know. So yeah, I fold up a quick crane real quick. I doodle lightning bolt.
One I hit as soon as that dagger starts going down.
I mean, yeah, it's your, yeah, you know. Yeah, I doodle a lightning bolt on its side, and I look straight up.
In my right hand, I summon the power of my psychic energy, creating a dagger, and throw it as high and far up as possible as I can.
Okay.
We got it. Aaron Rodgers.
Get it, Aaron.
So you're throwing your dagger, and we want the crane to go to where the dagger is.
Well, I
go to where the dagger is and kind of scout that area, because I'm seeing something in the air flying. I want to know if it's kind of friend or foe.
Well, but I guess right before you, I mean, you can apparate your weapon, but like right before you throw it, I'm kind of like, hold on, give me a second, because yeah, I mean, raw rules is written as I can mentally direct the crane to move, comma, or name a location within a mile. So technically, I think I should technically be able to just tell him to fly straight up.
And you can't actively communicate with it, can you?
No, but essentially, once it gets to its location and has the ability to land, it becomes inert. So, I
just don't see any way. The way you're telling
well,
us,
he's got to be able to throw a dagger faster than 10 feet, and my crane can't fly that fast.
Well, I mean, and I'm just saying, even if it does get up there and everything works out perfectly, what's it even going to tell us?
I mean,
if you can't communicate with it,
I
just don't.
I want everybody to make another perception check.
Just solve it this way. Hopefully.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Ugh, rough.
Remember, Big Juniors will be at disadvantage.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
I don't think he gave me disadvantage this time, but
Ebron, since you are focusing on this, I will give you advantage on this perception check.
That's better.
He throws saw.
All right, I'm gonna roll one for Irini and Atina quick.
Just the level of how far Aethros. You could be a nat 1, or you could be almost a 30 and above.
Aethros went from, I'm not even sure where we are right now, to I see he's like a blind person seeing for the first time. There's just so much input.
Yeah,
no, he's literally campaign.
He's literally Daredevil. Like when he first gets his abilities, like, oh
Yeah.
god, I can't see anything. I just, this is trippy.
Everything
What's going
all
on?
at once.
So Ebrin, Athros, and Irini would all hear a shriek up in the air. That's I guess Athros and I would say all three of you, given like your traveling experience in the past, or at least getting you up to this point, you would have heard birds of prey, calling out in the air before, and this gives you a very familiar vibe to that of some form of hawk. In your experience is a bit farther south, and Athros, with your after hearing that noise, you're able to lock on in the air and see this bird, this hawk-like creature, making circles around your party. Currently, before beginning to essentially leave your vision radius, but you can focus on the bird in the air. Like your vision pierces through with the sound to be able to find it.
Does the sound familiar enough to what the Parrington was, or do we at least know like it's a different bird than that?
You can tell it's a different bird from a Parrington.
Okay.
I
Well,
just point up to where it is. It's a bird.
I mean, I made a
Definitely,
crane. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, it
No, big bird.
specifically.
Like not like little.
I'm gonna look at Ono and be like,
garbage.
yeah, he's talking about like straight up, dude.
I mean, straight up, that's where I sent that bird. Yeah. I rolled a 9, dude. Come on.
Anyways, let's get back to this track.
Hey, man.
Keep moving.
I mean, do you guys not see it being pulled by two beasts yet, or what's up?
I mean, at this point, yeah, I would have
I still have
assumed,
yet to see anything.
Yeah.
I don't even know where we are. Apparently,
Big Tune, you're struggling a little bit, bud.
I'm just still focusing on this samurai thing.
Yeah, you're a bit cold. Maybe your sweat from your previous experience, maybe freezing over in some areas before Ono's able to warm you repeatedly. But as the party continuing to make their way to wherever the light source is, or what are you planning on? What's the party planning on doing?
Following the tracks. I don't know about
Yeah,
the
I'm
awakening
like-
yet at this
I'm
point.
still following the samurai thing
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
because aside from you saying bird, I still don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bird.
I'd kind
Oh,
of keep
well.
an eye on the bird and just stay in the back, and I assume we're all just gonna try to catch up with the cart here.
I mean, yeah, yeah, we're following this cart. I mean,
The samurai is pointing in the exact location of the light source. As you hit that top of the hill, like I said, you could see there's what appears to be a very large wagon pulled by two beasts in the distance as you're continuing to make your way closer to it.
I mean, I like these beasts. I don't want to piss these beasts off if we can like keep them, but
Okay, I'm gonna look at Irini and be like, how far can you cast command?
Commander's range of 60 feet.
and
So not close enough for her to tell him to halt yet.
Yeah, and she would look at you and be like, we're not close enough quite yet.
yeah, she could have.
Did we try to sneak up on this?
Well, yeah, we probably could. They're not going very fast, right?
No, they're moving at a rather slow pace.
You know, actually, no, not realizing just how bad I still.
I would say probably let's just try to catch up to him and have him stop. If worst case scenario, Irini, you can cast command to have him halt, but maybe the first thing they see shouldn't be a near 7-foot person like Bigtoon. Might startle him a little bit.
Wait, so theoretically, could I walk on all fours?
You could.
I'll do that.
Does he get like a
to pure
bonus for like?
Okay. As
Okay,
Big
man.
Toon gets down on all fours.
Yeah, I can dismount to make this less awkward.
You can definitely ride on my back if you like.
This is a weird, like, I'm enjoying the hell out of this. This is weird in so many levels, Big Toon. Okay, Kitty, let's rock and roll this. All right. I give Kitty guidance on their stealth check.
Okay. Everybody roll a stealth check for me.
Yeah, I think bad. My passive still
Yeah.
6.
This is gonna be rough. My
Big Toon.
stealth is
Yeah, Big Toon, remember to take disadvantage from the exhaustion level.
Yeah, I also get disadvantage for my heavy armor, so this isn't gonna go well.
I think I'm gonna have to refresh Foundry.
I think I'm thinking as soon as we just roll our stealth checks here, I must have put out my pipe, put my hood on, and became one with the night again.
Where did E-Ring go? Like, what do you mean? I'm standing right here. Oh.
It wouldn't even be
Perception
there. It'd be
check
like, where
for
did
night,
Ebron
so-
go? And just gone.
No, like if you decided not to walk away and you're just standing there, you're just like, dude, what are you talking about? I'm right here. I'm just like, what the fuck? Don't scare me like that.
My Foundry just brick.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, you're good.
Your
Downloading.
stealth
world
wasn't
data.
great.
Yeah, your stealth roll was a 7.
Somehow I did better than you.
Damn. Well, I mean, I'm sitting on your back, so I am.
I guess.
You have a rock. You have a rock gnome sitting on your back.
Yeah, you would be the first thing that people would look at over me.
Yeah, The
But it
best I
wouldn't
can
be very
do.
long. I mean, I only
best
have
I-
8, so.
Here we go. Now it's my map's loading. The best I could do is maybe like vapor waves in front of me to kind of distort whoever's observing me, but that's about it.
As the party begins to stealth their way up to the to get closer to this cart, Ono and Big Toon, you guys, whether it's talking too loud or maybe a slip at one point in this weird new four-legged position, causing a bit of a commotion, you feel you're not 100% sure if anything is heard, but the wagon does come to a halt. As you get
keep going.
within, I'm going to say 70 feet.
70 feet.
And
Okay.
Does anybody here speak Goblin?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, yo!
Quick question then. I mean, has it been long enough that I can try to see what's pulling this cart?
Yeah. As you get even this 50 plus extra feet that you are that you approach to this cart, really helps you kind of see what's going on a bit clearer. It now being fully within your realm of vision, you see what looks like 2 polar bears pulling an extremely large wagon-like structure. The wheels being the front wheels of the structure being about the size of Big Toon, if not bigger. The back wheels being about the size of an average human. As you see a large fire source coming from the second story of this structure, and you see, I would say Athros and Ebrin would see the hawk that you had seen earlier, currently hovering above the structure itself, once again letting out shrieks. What the shrieks mean, you can't quite make out at all. I don't think anybody here speaks hawk.
How close is that hawk?
I mean, I guess technically Irene could understand it, but
I was gonna say, could Irene use comprehend languages to hear the goblins and hawk?
I mean, it's a fucking hawk, but how close is that hawk?
right.
Let's
it's not.
see.
70 feet, he just said, or at least to the cart.
No, the cart's 70
Yeah.
feet. That
It's
hawk
probably
is
more.
That hawk is about 100 feet in the air, and it's about 75 feet
yeah.
away from you.
Chance.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's probably. Let me see what the spell's range is for that.
the feeling he knows what I'm about to do. I can't do it with
There is no
frost.
range, I forget. For speak with animals, it's just you can communicate verbally with beasts. But you
Yeah,
cast it on
sure.
yourself, it's not cast at a distance.
Damn.
But Athros, you would hear the goblins talking to each other as the cart oh my god, my words. The cart comes to a halt. Or whatever you want to call this structure, the behemoth that is in front of you. You hear what sounds like a female goblin yelling to everybody else. Okay, we need to stop. And then there's a pause, and you see there's one goblin standing about 10 feet back from the polar bears, right in front of the actual structure itself, and looks up to her. Stop, why? Hawk, see something. On hill. Someone investigate.
Athros, what are they saying?
They see something? They're coming to investigate? I think that bird told them about us, so
Mess that
maybe we
bird.
be friendly?
Do you want to be friendly? I'm about it. We could try to be friendly.
Here, I'm gonna give you guys access to the map.
Oh!
Like, what, we just say hello? I mean,
I mean,
it could
you're
just be travelers, traders.
The map.
cool. Yeah. If they did steal the iron, though, we have.
I mean, does it really make them people who stole it, or were they mainly just opportunists and came
Is it
upon
Yeah,
it?
what if,
now.
I mean, it sounds like it was just abandoned if they just found,
Dude, this cart thing
stuff
looks
that was
awesome.
abandoned.
I mean, yeah, I like this cart. I like this cart a lot.
So you're willing to murder somebody for their cart?
I'm not saying murder anyone. I'm just
Maybe we
saying,
can just
hey,
hitch a ride.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's be friendly.
yeah. But if the samurai is pointing to their hall, that's a dead. That's probable cause.
I'm gonna look at it,
So,
Tina. Can we,
Why don't we ask them first
can we-
where they found all of them?
can we at least not kill the polar bears? Can we be friends with them?
I mean, yeah, I kind of really like this cart. I really do. I really like this cart.
I think it would make your job of hauling those ingots back significantly faster.
I think you meant to say our job, as you are a part of the group.
I suppose that's true.
I'm gonna kind of awkwardly look away when I say that.
Are you flirting?
All
There's
right.
no need to be
No.
bashful.
Are you playing
But
hard
just
to
the
get?
fact that it's gonna make your job easier. You are a part of the group and stuck with us, so
Yeah,
you're not
he's-
gonna just.
I
do
look at oh no.
work.
I look at oh no, pull out a coin. Heads, we're gonna be friendly to them. Tails, you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Wait, how do I do this
So
roll?
like, one would be what? Yeah, I would establish it before we flip here.
Yeah, because it's numerical. It won't say heads
I
or
thought there's
tails.
a coin option.
Yeah, r/1d2.
But that's only a 1 or a 2.
Right.
One heads,
Okay,
two
one's
tails.
heads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: is Athros trying to catch it, or is he letting it fall into the snow?
That's a great question, Athros.
I'm gonna catch it and then flip it on the back of my hand.
Okay.
So what kind of check does he have to do to see if he catches it?
Chaos.
I can catch it.
I feel confident that he would catch this
Yeah.
coin.
And you show the result.
I show it to you,
Ooh.
oh no, and then I look the other way. I'm like,
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna. Okay. Let's go talk to them as civilly as possible. Since Athros. Oh man, I just realized Athros is gonna have to talk this one through. Okay. Yep. I love it. Chaos reign. Athros, you're our point man.
okay. I start shouting out, hello, in Goblin. Does anybody hear us?
Guidance. I tap him.
I just want to
Okay.
be friends with the polar bears. They look so cute.
One
Yeah, I
sec.
mean,
I
like,
say
if
that
it's
under
my-
my breath.
Do I still have guidance then, or no?
No, you've already done a check with it. It burns it
Did I?
automatically.
Oh yeah, I did. I forgot that I did that.
Jesus, that's so bright. As you see a smaller light source making its way up the hill as it was told to investigate, you would get to about here while you're contemplating your actions, still does not seem to notice your presence. As Aethros shouts out in a friendly, right? It was friendly, was what you agreed on for 2?
Yeah.
Hello, can anybody hear us? In Goblin. The Goblin stops moving from in your vision. Who there?
We're just travelers, and we're really cold, and we're wondering
We're
if maybe
friendly.
we could, like, warm up in your cart. Seems like you got a lot of room.
Trade. Say trade. Say trade. Say something about trade.
Also, do you have anything to trade? Because we're looking to trade.
Make a persuasion check.
You got guidance. Oh God, please roll a nat 20.
Does he have advantage with all of us right next to him?
Probably not.
Yeah, there's
Not
nothing
in this
really I can
instance.
do.
If
Yeah,
we could all speak Goblin, maybe, but
Oof. Oh fuck. I mean, this makes sense.
yeah, I kind of.
The Goblin does not move any closer.
I mean,
And
to be
the-
fair, that could work out.
No, come closer. You go bye-bye.
What do you
Oh.
say?
But we're already heading this way, so should we just wait here for you to leave, or
Fumble
are you
for
saying we
coin.
can't go to where we want to go?
No, come closer.
I quickly put out 3 gold and like put them in a way that they are visible, and I prestidigitate sparkles off of them, and I'm like, James, tell him payment.
He wants to pay you.
Pay why?
What did he say? What did he say? I don't understand what
Why do
he's
you
just
wanna pay
grunting.
him? Like he's saying, why are you giving him gold? Like,
Oh, so we can get some of his warmth and maybe we can do trade.
it's for warmth and for trading. We want to trade with you. Get warmer.
You would hear voices coming from the wagon in the back.
Ooh,
What?
I dig for one of the Yeti steaks and hand it to Aethros, and I go, hold this up,
I hold it up.
and scream, we have food for them if they're willing to be kind to us.
We have some food. You want to trade and help us get a little warmer?
Make another persuasion check, this time with advantage.
Nice slap. We'll slap you with guidance. You got this. Yes.
There's a long pause, maybe 30 or so seconds, I'd say, between interactions with you as you hear shouting coming from the cart. What's going on? And then the goblin looks back. That's, climbing your direction with a torch in hand. They have food. They're people. They want trade. Then you hear from the wagon, no trade. And then the goblin's, but food. I am quite hungry.
I turn this sounds like a really heated discussion.
You hear a couple other voices that you can't make out what they're saying coming from within the actual wagon itself. And you hear the person who's been talking back and forth from the wagon. Okay. They trade food. They go bye-bye. And then you hear the goblin who's standing kind of at the base about to climb up the hill. You trade food. Go bye-bye.
Okay.
What are you okaying to? What did he say?
We trade the food and then,
We kill.
I mean, they'll go. Someone's gonna go bye-bye. Chaos. We're just gonna see how this rolls. I kind of like this interaction though. This is kind of funny. Okay. I guess make the gesture that we're approaching.
Yeah, so I have Yeti's take. I'm like, okay, let's start walking forward with it. Like, let's trade. What do you guys got?
Do any of us have a count of like how many like people we see? Like how many bodies?
How many voices we heard?
Yeah, like we probably heard 4 voices, but how many do we physically see?
So, yeah, you heard several voices coming from within the actual wagon. You estimate that with the person who is talking from the wagon and the scout, there's probably at least 4 more somewhere inside or around. You can make out maybe one on the like a small like perch on the second story of this giant structure, but you can't see the other ones. They seem to all be inside.
Quietly turn to the group. Okay, if we do actually roll these goblins, can we please try very hard not to destroy this cart and or harm the polar bears?
So
I would really like to
They're
not hit
trading
the polar
outside?
bears.
I mean, we could try. Yeah, I would think maybe outside, at least getting them outside, that would be good. Yeah, we'll try to be as cordial as possible, and then if one of them starts piping up,
Well, listen, I mean, if we attacked this dude here, they're not gonna let him die, are they?
well, I mean,
They would come out and defend him, which means we could get them further away.
possibly, or they could.
If we like feinted an attack and then back up.
Well, let's get closer and see what we're working with. Like, because I'm okay with losing a couple of Yeti steaks, because I mean, come on, it's not that big a deal.
While we're approaching, just to understand the map, this little cliff right here, do they have high ground right now?
You currently have the high ground coming down off of this hillside.
Oh, we do.
Yes, you are
So
coming down the hillside. The wagon must have went around this hill, or on the backside, which is why your samurai pointed you over the top, because they were on the other side.
Well, okay,
So
I
we
was
have high
reading
ground,
that
they have
wrong.
low ground. Gotcha.
I definitely stand back up, but like I make sure I gesture to Ono that I'm about to, so that way he can choose to stay on my back if he'd like, for the time being.
Yeah, I'm gonna post up right now. I'm gonna post up. Yeah, let's try to be friendly and cordial, and then we'll see how it goes. Maybe we don't have to hurt a bunch of goblins. Maybe we do have to hurt a bunch of goblins. Who knows?
Cool.
I mean, I guess we slowly, or will cautiously and non-aggressively approach.
All right, as passively as you can. I would. Yeah, the goblin will let you approach as close as you felt comfortable.
Is my
Currently,
stealth check still valid?
I would say so. The goblin did not notice your presence, to your knowledge.
Definitely not going to let Aethros go there alone, so I'm staying right on him.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to keep up with you. Yeah, and I'll put myself.
Yeah, where's the /follow command?
Yeah. Where's the piggyback option? You're good. Okay, so all right. Yeah, so I am. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Dang it!
You have food.
Like, well, not trying to bum rush this dude, but I mean, like, we have the food out. I have not put away the gold. I'm still showing off the gold. Like, I'm trying to be as cordial as possible.
So you would see, as you all got very close, several goblins would peek their head out from the second story. One of which would come around from the backside of the wagon. I'll make visible. And you see that the goblin who was talking to this person with the torch is standing on top of the second story. The hawk that you had seen rested firmly on their shoulder. Trade food, then leave. We have... And the goblin would look back to this person. What we have? And they would, like, look, like, inside the cart. We have metal.
Of course you do.
You don't know that.
And
No, that's
Yeah.
what you hear. But I have my book out. My quill
Well, the
is
samurai
going.
still would be.
The samurai should be pointing dead at that cart,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, the samurai, its little sword thing has been pointing directly at the cart
Can you
this entire time.
let the samurai down on the snow and see what he does? Like if he
I was
walks
never-
underneath it to confirm it?
I was never holding it.
Well, yeah. I mean, at this point, yeah, the samurai's walking. There is a slim chance.
I feel like that samurai should get like triple advantage on a stealth check.
I mean, it's super small. God,
Right.
I don't know what you
Guessing
want me
it's
to
white
do.
paper, white
I
snow.
literally. Well, yeah, because the only thing that's magical, the only magical signature, if they're looking for it magically, or if they can actively look and see the glow of my it's written. Because the sword isn't much of a sword as much as I did kind of like it looks like a fat blade, but it's kind of like it looks like a fucking book. It would be like they'd have to really be searching for what would essentially be a quarter to dime size arcane sigil on there.
Yeah, no, they're not even focused on the little samurai guy as he's like on the ground walking. They're 100% focused on you as the party.
And it's going straight for the
And it heads straight to the wagon and stops directly underneath the middle, and its sword pointing directly upward.
I turn to Aethros. Okay, Aethros, morally they have acquired the GPS. That's the global samurai positioning system.
But
Yes,
the
please.
Yetis killed the dwarves, and then the dwarves left. So it's like they just
Okay.
found.
So
But
you're-
did
you're
the
absolutely
Yetis
right.
kill them?
Yeah.
So
So I asked this goblin like, okay, well,
Yes.
what type of metal you got? Like, is it shiny gold metal, silvery metal,
and
coppery metal?
ask if they've seen a Yeti.
The
We'll get to that.
Okay.
are you okay? I'm assuming you're talking at just like a normal, like, 5 foot away banter type
Yeah.
volume. Found metal.
No.
On abandoned wagon. Ours now. But we trade food.
A little aggressive. That's a little aggressive.
Okay. How much metal you got?
Yeah. Do they know math?
Like how much metal for eat? Just food.
Hold on, I'm gonna do a general intelligence check on a goblin for mathematics.
He's gonna be smarter than me.
I mean, goblins would know at least a handful of numbers.
Oh dear lord.
Oh, good lord! Please let it
Okay.
either be an Einstein
It's
or
gonna
a
be a-
dumb.
Bartering battle of idiots.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
One steak equals all of your.
It literally they're thinking, and you see like them trying to like count on their fingers, and they get to like 5, like your normal hand, and they're like, at least this many.
5? Like,
At least that many.
how many steaks do we have?
I personally, everyone has at least 3 steaks apiece. So, or 3 rations, what would be considered a ration steak or whatever. So yeah, I pull out.
Yeah.
You already have one of mine, so I pull
Okay.
out the other 2 of mine that I have.
I'll
and
pull
I-
out all 3 of mine then too.
So yeah,
And-
I'll look at the goblin and be like, 1 steak, 1 metal.
And then the goblin looks back to the person on the cart. 1 steak, 1 metal. And then they look down. 1 steak, 1 metal.
So say all metal or all steaks, all metal.
Wait, hold up. I want to do an insight check to see if he's telling the truth with 5.
Go for it.
Yo!
I'm giving myself guidance. I'm feeling confident in myself. Like,
Come on, Aethros. Let's go, Aethros. Come on, get out of here.
As you're giving yourself guidance, the goblin looks at you. What doing? And like has his sword or his does he have a sword or a mace?
I'm counting, okay? I count
Wait.
with magic.
This like little sword, a scimitar like thing that's like pointed outward now as you're like weaving like a little bit of magic in the air.
But
What-
he's
what
he's
doing?
standing aggressively.
He's a bit more standoffish right now. He's not like directly like attacking Aethros. He's just He's braced right now.
When he drew his sword, I drew mine.
I count with magic.
So the spot that I'm on is high ground, correct?
Yes, you are currently about 10 feet or so higher than everything else.
I would, as soon as he draws his mace, pull my bow out and use steady aim. And just be ready to go if need be.
Okay, so you'll give yourself advantage on that attack if you need to do it.
I have a firebolt ready and charged. Like I pull out essentially like a micrometer, the fantasy equivalent of a micrometer, and
As the goblin pulls out his mace, what does the rest of the goblins on the cart do?
They see the hostilities and also pull their weapons out, but not... Well, the ones who are visible. So you have 3 who are visible, the others who are still in the cart, but they're watching everybody. They want to see how this unfolds before they pull out weaponry, but they seem very hesitant in mentality. As you have 3 goblins with weaponry currently visible. They're not actively attacking, but they seem on edge.
What do the polar bears do?
They stand there looking pretty.
How big are these goblins?
About half. They're about the same size as Ono as far as stature.
Oh, okay. So,
Let's not be rude. Okay, let's go on.
listen, no, I'm just when I see him pull his mace out, I pull my sword out and kind of bear down and like not like making him any move closer, but I kind of puff up my chest and like
Intimidate.
Uh-huh.
You basically have your sword in the snow and you're holding it with 2 hands. You're like,
and I feel like, despite the fact that I'm assuming I would have had disadvantage, right? Because of the exhaustion.
Correct. You would still have disadvantage.
Due to the size disadvantage between he and I, would that negate that and give me a normal roll?
I would say make a flat, intimidation roll.
Sweet.
as your sword's literally as big as him.
Right, like...
Yeah, his sword is technically a little bit bigger than him in size. Aethros, you really can't tell if he's being truthful or not in his assumption of 5. You have an itch that he's probably that's probably the extent of his math that he knows. So, as the goblin looks at you and sees that you pull out your sword and gain in height, it doesn't back away, but its sword shifts from Aethros to you, and you see the goblin on top of the cart look down at the, while standoffish, the current goings on. No trade, they go bye-bye.
What? No, we trade.
I want everyone to roll initiative. I'll throw it in the encounter quick.
I was gonna firebolt that sucker right in the mouth. Okay, alright, okay.
Get my rations back here quick.
Okay, so just so, again, there's 3 visibly we see, or 4?
3.
3, okay.
Ooh, that's pretty solid.
That's solid.
And did you figure out how to give advantage for these?
I still haven't,
rolls?
so I can...
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do mine and then see how it goes. Alone for the first one.
Oh, yes. These are good
Hey,
rolls.
I did something this time.
These are great rolls.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
These are great rolls.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, that's enough.
How is this
Y'all
physically
ordered
possible?
these things.
Too many
Oh,
rolls behind the screen.
A clown cart?
And roll,
I mean, it
roll.
sounds
roll,
like it's a
roll,
big cart. It's got 2
roll,
floors
roll.
to it.
This is the other
Okay.
thing. We're gonna have to try to calm down some polar bears, too.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Okay.
We have Arini cast like calm on him. Have Arini make him go to sleep. Have them take a nap.
What? No, because it hurts. Hold on, sleep hurts them.
No, but if
I don't
Arini
think it's
casts
supposed to,
command
though, is it?
on the
No, it's
polar
not supposed to
bears
hurt him.
Okay.
and tells them to go to sleep,
It's just,
the polar
that's
bears
just
will stay asleep during combat.
the
That's-
determinant.
That's... Command
That's-
command is, it only lasts for 1 round. And
Yeah.
sleep is its own separate spell. Sleep is not a command that she could do on command, just so you know.
Yeah.
Sleep for 6 seconds.
While
Oh, wow.
it's pretty dope. I think she'd have to beat their HP.
Combined HP if you want to
Yeah.
put both of them to sleep.
Yeah.
And I believe it's only like, even at 3rd level, I want to say it's only like 5d8.
It's I think for first level it's 5d8, and when she rolls it at higher one, it's an additional 2d8.
Okay, yeah. So I mean that would be an incredible ask, because those things are probably not very weak.
All right, I gotta switch to some decent combat
I just
music.
want to be friends with the polar bear.
I don't
I
think they're
wanna
going to
pet their-
necessarily attack us. I don't think they're too worried about it.
I mean,
Yeah, well, let's just give them food after the battle, and they'll probably like
If
us.
anything, we can throw one of those stakes at them. That should distract them.
yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, we could get away with that. Yeah, okay. Oh god, oh jeez.
No quick. Combat. Ah!
Oh my god. Been using Apple Music for my music lately, and unfortunately there's no good fantasy combat soundtrack, so I have to revert to the usual.
No.
You don't want to use that bard card playlist?
I actually haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but I'm sure it's amazing.
Oh, it's fantastic. I'm sure it would get, any sort of, it would trigger everything as far as like DMCA.
Yeah. We're striking that right now.
Okay, so now that I have my music going for combat here, first person up is Ebrin. Ebrin, what would you like to do?
That gnome that's right in front of him, since I use steady aim on my bow. Does a goblin wearing any head armor or no?
They're wearing like some form of cap, but I wouldn't necessarily call it armor itself.
Yeah, I'm going for a headshot.
Where's Arini and Atina in initiative? Did we get their rolls?
We're all before.
Should be. Yeah, you guys, I don't know how in the world that happened. You guys rolled really good.
Yeah.
Everybody is literally before all of these.
Inventory. Short bow. Standard roll, right?
Standard. You gave your. If you want to give yourself advantage, you could do that with your steady aim again, but otherwise it'd be a standard roll.
Attack, right?
Yeah.
Do I get sneak attack as well?
Since they do not notice you, and there's also someone engaged with the enemy, you would get sneak attack.
Sneak attack and advantage move. Alright, attack.
It's a lot of die.
Alright, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll your... Well, your sneak attack doesn't apply to your attack
Yeah.
roll.
I was just about to say,
Oh,
yeah.
my bad.
That was
Alright, redo.
It's okay.
Oh, no, just take the 16. Interesting.
We're gonna go with the 16 because because
How do you roll 20 and 1?
I know what a chance of that.
Wow. What a spread, bud.
Roll for damage and add the 2d6 for your damage. Okay. So as you make your headshot on the goblin, all you hear is a as the arrow hits the goblin directly in front of Aethros, and he collapses on the ground. DED dead.
Jesus Christ. Shit.
like, oh my god, where'd that come from? What happened?
Yeah.
I just wrote first shot, first kill. That's it on Ebrin's note. Yeah.
All right, anything
Yeah,
else?
I'm not gonna announce myself at all. So,
It's like that one
If-
sniper.
if I don't move, does steady action go another round or no?
You would need to reset it next round using your bonus action.
As my current bonus action, could I use it or no?
I mean,
To set up for next round.
it only applies on the turn that you're doing, so you have to use your bonus action before you attack with steady aim. So you used it to give yourself advantage this time.
Okay. Yeah, I would. I don't know how far goblins can move or then birds. So I would just stay where I'm at, hidden, and end my turn.
Okay. That brings us to oh no.
Oh no, indeed.
Without skipping a beat, as soon as I see that one the goblin drop, I look at all of them. I look at the bird should be within range right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, the bird is within your range. It is currently, I guess, as combat would begin, it would it's like about 5 feet away from the goblin on top of the cart, as it's like taking off again.
Cool. I target the bird and the other 2 goblins, and I am casting magic missile. You must target at most 1 token before. I did. I targeted.
At most token. 1 token.
Right. Select targets, which I did.
It's saying you can only target 1.
At most. Okay, fine. All right. So yeah, boosh. Yeah, I did. There's only 1 guy I've targeted. I'm targeting the bird then. Jerk. Okay.
Yeah, if it's not working, we can just do it the old-fashioned way. It's not a big deal.
No worries. Bloosh. Because that shit hits automatically.
Okay.
And I'm going to damage him. I'll take that. So yeah, it should be 4 damage to the 3 of them because I split my dart between the 3 of them.
Okay, so you fired 1 dart at each one.
Yep.
If you would have directed all 3, it would have done triple that damage. Then is that what?
You create a 3 glowing darts of magical force. Each dart hits a creature of your choosing that you can see within range. A dart, so 1 singular dart does 4 points of damage.
Like, let's say you targeted the bird on all 3, it would have done 12 then. Okay.
It would, it would have obliterated him.
Out of curiosity, make sure I understood what was going on with that.
Yeah, because I think if it targets multiple people, it would have done the math for it.
Sure.
Okay. As you fire your arrows, they all make purchase on the creatures. So one on the goblin on the top, 1 on the bird, and 1 on the goblin that you can see on the ground. But they are all still standing as they take the brunt of that damage.
That's cool by me.
Okay.
And then yeah, I don't move. I'm chilling with Big Tune.
Okay. That'll bring us to Big Tune.
Alrighty. So, I see the bird. Do I see this goblin that's on top of the?
You do.
Okay. Can I make a perception check to see if I see anybody else?
Yeah. I would say go for it.
Disadvantage, right?
Disadvantage.
Okay, so I'm not going to see anything, but for my
Ah,
sake. Almost.
almost.
All right, well,
He's like, all right.
In your current state, you don't see any of the other goblins besides the ones currently present.
and do we have full movement speed or?
Yes. So right now in this clearing right here where you are, I would give you full movement speed.
Sweet. All right, I'm gonna kind of trudge over this dead body here. And make my
For
way-
clarity's sake, I am off of your back.
Yeah, okay. And I'm gonna make my way over towards this guy and bring my greatsword down upon him, maybe.
Okay.
Make a red mist.
Either that or I'm gonna whip hard. Is that gonna be a disadvantage too then, right?
Your attack rolls will still be normal. It's just your ability checks that are at disadvantage with 1 level.
Good
Can-
stuff, good stuff, good stuff.
Can we say that Bictune like stepped not just over that dead goblin that Ebron killed, but like stepped that goblin into the snow.
Yeah.
Pushed him
You
down.
created a
Yeah.
foothold in the snow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as of right now, you guys don't even know where that arrow came from.
Right.
No,
Well,
it
we
was
just know
just
it's dead.
it was the sheer fact of literally we saw this goblin right in front of us and just oh
I was
shit.
trying to barter with him, and then all of a sudden he's just dead.
Okay, so
I'm traumatized.
when I make this roll, Dakota, just remember, just hang on for a second before you tell me what's going on, just in case I decide to use one of my things.
Okay.
You know, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm good to go with that.
Get it, get it.
Okay. That will hit. Roll. Go ahead and roll for damage as you bring your greatsword down.
It's a goblin, dude. Like you're gonna cut straight through this thing. And it's gonna go right into the snow.
As as you bring your sword, you kind of bring it around in a circular pattern, and you have no issue at all cutting this goblin open. After the damage that's been dealt from Ono, as he falls like the upper half of his body kind of falls backwards as the front half falls forward, as he's like bisected.
I am writing overkill.
And Dakota, I really want. I thought about using what you gave me in my tree.
Just to make sure. I get it.
They have to be kind of freaked out at this point.
The only one I'm concerned about is the one who may or may not look different.
Well, I want that bird dead.
I mean, I don't see anything different, but
All right.
yeah, it was pretty terrifying when we all rolled initiative, and then all of a sudden,
Is Dakota making me helpful?
yeah. I mean, we haven't really run into it yet.
Which Big Tune, is there anything extra you want to do in your turn?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Okay. That'll bring us to Athros.
So how tall is this wagon? I'm trying to think, like, the top, like, this goblin is it's 25 feet away, but going up, how far would it really be?
The overall size of this wagon itself, I'm
Close the door.
gonna say it's about 20 or so feet tall. It's a big structure.
Okay, so I'd have to fly almost at or go up at a 45. Get to there. Okay, I'm just going to use Sacred Flame. Target
Hell yeah.
the bird.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
And it. Oh yeah, that's the target. Flame. So you have to make a. Was it Wisdom save? No, Dex save.
All right. What's your spell save DC?
15.
Okay, that will hit.
Okay. Roll for damage. 4 damage.
Hell yeah.
Okay. As your sacred flame comes down in the sky, the hawk taking off into the air, you see that it just gets eviscerated in radiant, sparkling light as its corpse falls to the ground with a small sizzle coming off the top.
I feel bad for these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. They're goblins, guys. Not to be. I don't like goblins. Sorry.
I love goblins. That's why I speak goblin.
Hey, some goblins are cool. Some
I'm
of
just
them
starting to feel bad for them.
too shifty.
A little. That's going down a little too easy. I feel like I'm killing a little
and then-
kid right now.
For my movement phase, I want to go. Yeah, so move to that square. And then, can I see anything from the backside of the cart?
The backside of the cart itself is mostly closed. The upper story has like a almost like a tapestry or something, like a piece of cloth that's keeping most of the heat in. As it blows slightly in the wind, you can see at least one other goblin up on the top. I'll make them present.
Here's the better one.
But as far as anything else that you see on the inside, currently, like, the whole bottom is completely closed from the back, but the top has a tapestry. But you can make out one other goblin on top.
Okay. I want to shout at them like, we trade 1 meat for 1 metal.
1 meat for all metal.
As you
Meat for your life.
as you shout that out, you get a response back from the goblin that's probably closest, and it shouts out, "No meat, no metal."
I'll meet all metal then. That's my turn.
Okay. Bring us to Atina, who will move a little closer.
Somebody to cut the tune.
And she's going to utter a prayer and conjure a bit of magic energy in her hand, but she's going to hold her action to attack if she can see a goblin, which she, other than the leader... Oh, wait, no, she can see the leader. I'm going to do that instead. She's going to cast a spell at the goblin up on top.
Like true.
As she casts her spell upward, oh no, you would, I think, recognize the spell as Ray of Frost.
Hey.
She shoots a beam of frozen energy upwards, but you see that the goblin up on the top kind of blocks it with its shield and doesn't take any damage from the attack. She's going to look around and see if she sees anything else. Which she does not. Okay. And that'll be Atina's turn as she just makes sure that everybody else is okay. She'll bring us to Irini. Alright. Let's see what Irini can do.
Get it, girl.
Okay. She is going to... How far do I have to be from them? Because I feel like she would do this. She's going to move a little bit closer. Like right up behind Big Tune. Apologies, my dogs have the zoomies right now.
Hell yeah.
And she's going to look up at the goblin up on the top. And she's going to cast Hold Person.
Ooh.
I feel like that's an Irini move.
Either that or command.
I mean, long as it works, yeah. So far, she's 75%.
If you fail, that's not a read.
Right.
Ooh, as she casts out the Hold Person, you oh no, I guess as you're watching, you would see a bit of arcane energy kind of trace outward from her hand. A small wisp of like gray energy envelops the goblin up on the top, and you see the goblin freeze in place as it is held there. And I think
you're 3 for 3.
And Irini, I think, would probably say something along the lines of, "Are you sure you don't want to trade?" And that will
She
be
is like 3 for 3 on every spell she's done right now.
It's honestly insane. Her
I think that's 4 for 5 right now.
her ratio,
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
and she would inspire probably Big Tune.
Hell.
Yeah.
Okay, So you have your D6 of inspiration for your next attack, ability check, or saving throw.
Good.
And how the goblins get to go.
Yeah,
Of course,
now
like the one.
all
Yeah.
15 of them that are hiding inside of there.
So the goblin up on top, that's right, they can make a saving throw to try to break it.
Is that end of their turn?
Yeah, but that's like all they'll be able to do.
Is he noticeably like bigger or anything than the rest of these goblins?
You notice that it's a female,
Okay.
but they are about the same size. They seem to be equipped for combat a little bit better than everybody else, but that's really about it.
This one wearing a helmet or no? Any face protection?
Bundled up for the snow. Not really like armor, so to say, but it's more so for cold weather protection. Alright, at the end of the turn, they're going to try to break free from her spell. And they do not. So, that is their turn, as they, like, are still frozen there in place. That goblin's dead. That one was dead. Okay, that'll bring us to the one that Athros could see on the back of the wagon, who is going to use his movement to make his way onto the very top of the wagon, onto the little platform, and he's going to use his action to... Let me just make sure I do this right.
Just want to trade. All we want to do.
They're going to first blow a horn that their leader seems to have on their side, which lets out a large, like, echo across the valley, or this, like, I guess, hillside. And then they're going to look down at Athros, look over at Bictune, think between about who they want to attack, and they're going to go for Athros. The
The horn isn't trying to make them move.
I'm going to fire an arrow at you. $23.
Oof.
AC 18.
Was that a... Is that a crit?
No.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah, that hits.
So they're going to hit you for... It's going to be 8 piercing damage.
Okay. Oh, it already took it off.
Okay, good. I wonder if maybe for me, when I do my private rolls, if it just doesn't apply it until after I do my... Try to do my damage. I don't know, it's weird. Or it just took forever to catch up. I'm not really sure.
So it was
Working out,
8
though.
damage.
Okay,
That's all
good.
that matters.
And then they are going to disappear back down into the... they're gonna like jump down back into the second story, or like so they're not on the top platform and they're gonna jump back down inside. And Athros, you would hear that goblin shout out, "Shoot arrows! Take down, please!" As it's now the other goblin, one of the other goblins' turns. All right, another goblin's going to appear up on top of the platform.
Okay.
And they're going to look around, and they are also going to pick a shot off at Athros.
It's because they realize I'm the biggest threat. That's it.
I mean, yeah, technically, yeah.
And they are going to miss as they also disappear back inside the back inside of the second story. They appear to be popping up on top, taking shots, and disappearing back inside. All right, next one. All right, a goblin's going to peek his head around to the side of the wagon in the front. It would be Ebrin, Ono, and probably Atina who would see this one. As they make themselves visible, they are going to look down and see that Atina is in the light and take a shot at her. Alright, and she'll get hit with an arrow. So weird. So for me it shows if it hits only if I roll for attack damage. Bizarre. Okay. So she'll take an arrow, like, in the side of one of her arms as the goblin lets out a small cackle and then disappears back inside.
Athena!
How much damage does it do to her?
6 damage.
Yeah, as she takes 6 damage. Let's see. The hawk is dead, which will bring us back to Ebrin.
So there's only 6
I would use my bonus action to do the study aim again. And I'm trying to find it. Steady aim. I'm targeting the one on top. I'm aiming for another headshot.
Okay.
And then inventory, short bow.
Also can't move if you use an icing.
And then since I'm still stealth, do I have advantage?
You'll have advantage from your steady aim. And
yeah, that's
from
fine.
hold person, so either way. Unfortunately, as you are steadying your shot, you get like a bit of snow that's falling in your eye as you let it go, and your arrow kind of whiffles past the goblin's head.
Damn it.
That's no fun. I can't really do anything else. So I will end my turn then.
Okay. Which brings us back to Ono.
I'm gonna move 5, 15, 20, 25, 30. There. I should still have line of sight to this gobbo, the leader, and I'll firebolt.
Go for it.
Gadoosh. Wow.
You get it with, if you're aiming at the leader, you'll get advantage from hold person.
Oh, wicked. Okay. Then I will just roll it one more time. Gadoosh. Ugh. No better.
As your attack. Also, the snow itself seems to be picking up a little bit as you also get some form of snow or water in your eye. The firebolt missing its target.
That's fine. That's okay. I'm not really built for battle. I better help her.
Can I direct my attention? Is it like a back hatch that they're popping out of the top, or are they climbing out of this little tapestry in the back?
So, roll a perception check.
Okay. Perception. Swoosh. Woof.
You can tell that there has to be some form of hatch, but where exactly it is inside, you can't quite tell. It appears to be somewhere near the middle, but whether it actually is or not, it's hard to say. You know that they're not climbing on the tapestry, though.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I
Whack a goblin.
I know that's that's where I'm kind of at right now. Yeah. That's all I got. Excuse me.
Okay. That'll bring us to Big Tune.
All right. So, I mean, I'm sure you're gonna make me do a check as opposed to this, but I'll ask anyway. This, I don't know if you can see my little cursor on
Yep.
screen here. Is this like what I see? Is this like a staircase or a ladder leading to up above here?
Good question.
It is a ladder that'll lead into the first story of the first story of the cart, wagon, giant behemoth, whatever you want to call it.
And what we were physically seeing on top is not that level. Like
No, this is technically the second story. Yeah.
Okay. A little nervous about running into there, but I'm going to.
Live your life. Do you, baby?
Yeah, okay.
Somebody's gonna heal you.
So, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna poke my head inside. I guess, what do I see?
I'll see if I can make you a little room quick, since I don't have the ability to create one. Otherwise, 1 second.
Sure.
Would you even fit inside this if you're so tall?
Also true.
Not that I'm actively looking. I'm pretty sure we can hear them. Are the polar bears reacting at all?
Not exactly at this moment. They seem to be rather uninterested.
They don't give a shit. I'm giving them a steak. I'm giving them a Yeti steak. That's one's gonna be named Bingo. The other one's gonna be named Bongo. I've already given them names. They're family.
And Bongo's gonna be the one to eat you.
How about Bango?
Bango
I wanted
Bongo?
to name something different.
In Ono's head, they have already given them names and personalities.
Okay, Big Tune. So you walk inside, and there are 2 goblins that you see currently on the first floor. Staring at you.
Oh yeah. I will saunter my way over to this guy here.
Okay.
And try to do what I've been doing. Or what we've been doing.
I wonder how squishy their goblin bodies are. Could you just, like, press your sword into the goblin and just press him through the wall? Get a spoke in one of the fucking wheels. Yo.
All right.
Yeah, I'll live with it.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah! Big Tune hits.
Use my inspiration. Oh, Lord.
That's good. Take an 8.
No, I know. I thought it was going to be higher for a second.
Inspiration, I don't believe applies to damage rolls.
Yeah. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't even use it. Like,
Oh, okay. Oh, sure, you have a sword that's 2d6. I thought you said I used my inspiration. I forgot your sword is
No.
2d6
I
damage.
wish. I totally
That's
forgot
on
to
me.
use it on that attack.
All right, yeah, as you run inside, you see these goblins staring back at you, and you bring your sword around, like, I feel like it'd be like Berserk, like, Guts style.
Yeah.
And you just, like, cleave this one as well as he falls over DED dead.
All right. Hoping you might be able to work with me here a little bit. After I do that, I'm gonna look at the other guy and give him a stare down and kind of just like a, you know, just like a Goldberg-esque, "You're next."
Okay.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm hoping that me absolutely murdering his buddy will give me quote unquote advantage, but then not disadvantage on intimidation. So just
Yeah,
make
make a straight roll.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
he cut through his
Yeah, is
dude.
Gibbs. Is
And
Gibbs.
I
You
am
would have had
using
advantage.
I am using my Bardic Inspiration on this.
Okay.
Like, the way I see it is Big Tune pulled the tapestry.
Boy, I'm really not great at this.
But hold on, you swung the sword right into the one dude, you plastered him up against the wall, and you're just now pulling it out of the wall. In my head.
Don't you have your second wind or whatever?
I did.
Action surge.
I did.
Yeah.
I did not sleep.
Oh.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
it's
that's
once
right.
per
Yeah,
rest.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he needs bedtime.
I
Yeah,
am
we.
well at it.
You guys did not elect a short rest at the place
No.
before.
We did not.
Okay. He does not seem very intimidated by your screech. He lets out something to you in Goblin.
My laugh probably went from a to that.
Some meow came out.
Yeah.
Like phonetically, he probably said something very complimentary,
Yeah. You look
Right.
lovely today.
which I think actually in Goblin terms is actually an insult.
Oh.
So I think
Looking
you would have had.
especially clean today.
Yeah, that would have been bad. Yeah, that would have been.
Did you take a bath?
Oh, gee, whoa! Hey, watch your mouth.
Anyways, that is my turn.
Okay. Which will bring us to Aethros.
Alright, can I see this goblin on the top from where I'm at?
Am
I too close to
You
the
can see like his on the top, the one that yeah, you can see his feet. He probably has half, I would say half cover right now, but you could make out where he is.
Okay, I'm gonna move back a bit so I can get a better view. So here, we'll probably have a good view of them. Goblin on top.
Yeah, you would have a much better view from where you are right now.
He's
Okay.
25, 30 feet.
So I'm
away
gonna attack the goblin leader and use guiding bolt as a level 2 spell.
Okay. You will
him, Aethros!
you will have advantage.
Yeah.
Gun her.
God damn, dude.
Let's go!
Good night.
All right.
Alright, so that's...
So roll your damage, and then we will do the because it's 1 round of dice max, 1 round of dice rolled. I don't have it.
So it only gives me the option now for critical, like the damage option is no longer there on the spell.
That's fine. We'll roll with it. I have a feeling it won't matter too much anyway.
Okay.
Let's see what it does.
It says 5d6 plus bonus, we'll see. Oh, but now it gives me an option for critical or normal.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go with the normal, just to be safe, and then we can add
Yeah.
30 to this.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So
Jesus
47
Christ.
damage?
113.
So you fire this radiant bolt of energy, right? You summon more than you normally do into your hands, your newfound power really taking hold, and you launch this baby clear into the sky. Like it emanates a dim light across the sky that everybody except for Big Tune, who's inside, would be able to see. And you just see it hit this different looking female goblin, and they just explode into glimmering gibs all over the top. As holy balls, was not expecting that.
So what was the grand total of damage? It was
47.
40. Jesus.
That's a new high.
Wow, Aethros.
I did 42 in a turn with 2 attacks. 36 with a solo attack.
Hitting it with the
Yeah.
crit. Hell yeah, Ben.
Dang, man. As it
They
is
really should have traded
DED.
with us.
They really, I mean, come on.
Big Tune, you would hear from inside a rather large sound of something exploding, but you wouldn't exactly know what. You could probably draw your assumptions, but
Yeah, and as I do, I mean, I'm not trying to intimidate or anything, but I'm still looking at him like...
And I shout out, 1 metal, 1 meat. We trade.
okay. Anything else you're gonna do on your turn?
Yeah, that's the last thing I'm going to do.
Okay. Atina. She won't be able to see she's gonna move towards the polar bears. And
She better not attack no polar bears.
she get to about here.
She was told not to harm the bears.
If she's about to attack the bears, my next shot's going at her.
We were clearly very adamant about protecting these animals.
You see that she's not focused. Wait, can you see? Yeah, you would. Anybody who's in the front would be Irini, Ono, and Ibrin would be able to see she is not attacking the bears.
My guy's gonna sigh in relief.
Like,
And fire off another ray of frost into the wagon.
So she's blindly casting Ray of Frost into the wagon.
She can see, because she moved to the front so she could see into the second story a little bit, and she can just make out the top, so he'd have 3/4 cover.
I mean, best case scenario, if she does hit this creature,
Oh,
and
there
they're
we
kind
go.
of frozen in their spot. Oh, she hit? Hell yeah,
You
Tina.
see the a bolt of frozen energy launched into the cabin, and then someone yelling in Goblin in the distance that you can't see them from where you're currently positioned.
Is that a kill? What was the damage? I missed the damage.
4 damage.
4 damage. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Tina.
As that's going to be the end of her turn. She's keeping just enough distance between herself and the polar bears, just in case.
Do it.
I didn't want to bend that to that poor goblin.
Yo, okay, hold on. First, I thought the headshot was going to be the worst thing of the game. No, then you split 2 goblins into twine, and I thought, okay, that's a little rough. No, Ben decides to eviscerate a goblin with holy light.
You used like a hammer of dawn on it.
Jesus.
That was exactly what I thought. I had my mic up. I'm like, dude, just hammer dawn them.
No, I got a different
did-
spell for Hammer of Dawn, and it really does
Well-
feel like it.
Did Ben's attack destroy any part of the sled? Do we see that?
No, that's the beauty of Guiding Bolt.
in-
It
oh.
is.
It
It
is
is an-
solely the organic matter. It was nothing sled related.
There's
That-
nothing
Sweet,
left
yeah.
of their head.
Yeah, and it's straight up. It's a straight streak of light. So, which it's golf clap.
He kamehameha'd him.
Ono is genuinely impressed and like making a separate note about Aethros's power level.
Okay. One
It's over
second.
9,000. Oh, love it! I freaking love it.
Anyways, let's
Ben, what
See
a
what-
friggin'
see what this
solid-
goblin thinks he wants to do to me.
Yeah, there is nothing.
Maybe he wants to trade now.
Because I hope to God he misses.
Aether
Oh, if
is
he
just
misses
still
me,
on
he's
it.
dead.
Are you sure you don't want to trade? This is literally like last chance.
Like, 1 meat for 1 metal seems like a pretty good deal now, doesn't it?
Sorry, I'm just looking at making sure I get my jump information correct. Oh my god. Satyrs are awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Amazing.
Irini, now not having to concentrate on a spell since their deed, is going to... Actually, what's her distance? Okay. You know what? What would she, okay, she wouldn't
would
do what I
Irini
want.
do?
She wouldn't do what I would want her to do.
What would Irini do?
So she would move to the back of the wagon.
Can you have her move to the front and try to befriend the
Don't put her in a harm's way.
Well, she could be off like to the side. I don't want
She
to
would
fight the
be
polar bears. I want to be friends with them.
She would move just.
I wanna
She has
ride one into
35
them.
feet. So it'd be inside the wagon with Big Tune.
doesn't murder that thing, it's please attack me. Is what Benjamin is thinking.
This is just so kooky.
Okay.
Or if she commands it,
I'm the way I'm seeing it visually in my head is at one point who's standing currently. The only person who's gonna see if it pops out the way in my head is Atina is gonna watch blood splatter come out of the the corner of that cart.
She's going to cast command, since that's the iconic spell this campaign so far.
literally gonna do like a Mortal Kombat finisher on this thing.
That is her word, yes.
She's going to cast command. Let's see if it works.
Surrender. Grovel.
Command. Walk into Bictoon's sword as it's
for
flat.
shit.
Run into.
Command.
She's going to,
Trade with Athros.
she's going to cast command and have it grovel and have it fall to its knees.
Yes.
And she's going to say, "It's your last chance to trade."
One meat for entire cart.
And
Yeah.
Join party for cart.
you would see Bictoon. You would see the goblin drop its weapon.
No fucking comment.
And
Thank you, Irene.
in common, in its broken speech, you hear it say, "Okay, we trade," and that's all it's able to do. As that'll be the end of Irene's turn, which will bring us to jumping all the way down to the goblin on the second story who got hit by the ray of frost.
Captain's dead.
You
This one in here and that one.
you see the goblin climb up on top of the top platform where its captain got gibbed, and in front of everybody who could see, you see it like throw its sword down and like put its hands up in the air. I won't live. We trade. And it like looks over at Athros. Trade.
2 thumbs up. Yes,
2 thumbs up.
we trade.
You like the Batista thumbs up and then flip it to thumbs down.
Internally, yes, but no, I just showed 2 thumbs up.
And the goblin who's inside by Bictoon, since it's their turn, would like put its hands up. It can't like move, like it's prone.
Yeah, you've commanded it to grovel, so it's groveling.
I won't live. Please trade. And that'll be the end of its turn.
Was that still in common?
That was in common, yes.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll see.
Very excited.
Yes. We're gonna go through one more round. I want to see what people are going to do. Or I guess we could pause combat. Is anybody here going to still be hostile?
Oh, I think so.
If they're going to physically drop arms, I'm not going to attack.
Yeah.
Listen, Bictoon's loopy as fuck right now. He has no idea.
Look, what goes on the inside of that cart, we can't technically see.
True.
But this dude on the top is he's given up.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get to the top and I'm gonna tell them to come down. Like, okay, trade. Where's your stuff? Let's trade.
Okay. As you say that, I'm gonna have, if Bictoon is going to be hostile, then it would bring it to his turn before the goblin would be able to do anything first. So, Bictoon.
Well, before it's his turn,
Ibris,
since I have the high ground, would I be able to see that Bictoon's being hostile still?
you cannot. The inside of the wagon is completely blocked in.
There's not like a slight sliver my arrow might be.
Bro, even if there was, it would be at a ridiculous disadvantage.
Make a perception check, Ibrin.
Alright. So I can see he's still being hostile. I'm gonna try to spoil it for him.
You would be able to see it.
You're so kind to steal the cat's kill.
Normal, or what do we say?
Roll is for. I want you to roll a perception check first.
Oh.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
You are not able to see inside as the wagon is
Yeah.
completely surrounded.
Oof, even with
Filled in.
dirty 20.
All right.
Also, hold on. That's as a side note, that's a plus. That's actually a plus.
Yeah.
Can I cast...
Dead goblin.
No, can I do my psychic whispers and tell Big Two not to attack?
I think you know that I'm gonna attack.
Also, don't you have to?
Yeah,
I'm,
you
I'm
don't-
gonna assume, because you're the only person on the inside and doesn't know the guy on the outside is not attacking.
Doesn't your psychic whisper? Don't you have to like establish that connection with him first?
You have to be
I
able
thought
to
you had to,
see
like-
him, and
Yeah,
you
you
cannot
have-
see Big Toon right now.
Yeah. 'cause you had
Whatever's
to
going on
me.
in that wagon, you have no idea.
He could be dead for all you know.
It is true. Big Toon could
Yeah.
be dead inside the wagon.
Yeah.
The
Oh
chances
my
of that
God!
highly unlikely, but still.
Come
I
on,
guess my guy
Wilson,
will.
what happened?
That goblin is a true warrior. He must be respected.
I guess my guy will slide down the hill and check on Tina and see how she.
The polar bears seem nice.
Oh, Tina's good at animal handling. All right.
Can I hug one?
Don't no what?
If you
Well,
want
maybe
to,
I'll pet.
you would still have 10 feet of movement. So if you want to
Oh,
try
no,
to hug a polar
I
bear,
want a Rini and everybody who can understand animals to make sure they're not gonna bite my arm off. But like, I want to
on.
essentially just like hug one and be friends.
Just because
This
Irene
might
is
might
part
replace
animal-
my dog. She can do comprehend languages, maybe understand like, hey, friend or foe, what's your name? Because you're just assuming their names as of right now. They might
Hey.
already have names.
Oingo boingo
fluffy
are not up
paws
for
and-
grabs yet.
Oh boy.
Oingo,
Anyway.
Oingo boingo.
Sir Fluffy Paws and
That's her fluffy paws.
Smoochy Face. I don't know.
Oh, it's clearly lunch and then dinner.
love that for you.
I love your train of thought right now.
As we pan ourselves into the wagon, Big Toon, what you doing, bro?
Okay, well, so this one is how far up? Is it 2 levels above me? Like, would I have possibly heard him?
He's all the way up on the top. I would say make a perception check with disadvantage.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to with disadvantage, but you know.
Right. Okay. Just want to make sure. But yeah, there's no chance.
Nah.
I don't know what's happening.
It's
All I
snowing
know-
outside, guys.
Oh
Well,
no, I
don't
don't know that
about
they're giving up. Oh no, darn.
Yeah, that's true. That is
Don't
true.
forget, I have a level of exhaustion. I am
Yeah.
extreme. I haven't slept in probably 36 plus hours at this point.
Technically, in Big Toon's eyes, this goblin is groveling. He barely understood. He
I-
could.
I understood that I tried to intimidate him, and then Irini came in and made him intimidated by me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and, normal Big Two might not have done it, but
But very
mean,
tired,
him
crabby
being
Big Toon might.
exhausted-
yeah.
Well, I was gonna say him being exhausted is a problem now too, because let's just do something. Oh, I could.
I mean,
We have a place to nap now.
yeah.
Right. Nah, it's gonna work
We just gotta
out,
clean up
'cause-
goblin blood.
Big Toon, your attack would be made with advantage, just so you know.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is gonna be nasty. Crit on him. Roll a crit. Okay,
I hope he
that
gets a nat.
215s is pretty dope.
I was like, I want a
Okay.
nat 1 just for spite.
Yeah, so you can roll for damage. Because he's gonna get hit.
He go get hit.
Are you gonna do what I think
Put
you're
him
gonna
in
do?
a body bag.
No, worry, I don't understand the whole concept of hit dice, so like, help me.
Okay, so Big Toon has an ability that he can cast by spending his hit dice. So your ability. Let me make sure I see the right one. Okay, you can spend hit dice to empower your host. Once per long rest, you can summon energy from your fallen clansmen to smite your foes a number of d8s equal to your spent hit dice, but no greater than your proficiency modifier. This Damage is thunder damage. So you could spend up to 2 hit dice, which you usually use to heal, to instead empower this attack with d8s.
So he can roll an extra 2d8.
Once per long rest, he can roll an extra 2d8 to summon thunder damage equal to hit dice spent, but no more than his proficiency modifier. So the max you can roll is 2.
Get it, Lionel.
And how like on the rest then would I get all of my hit dice back or one or
You get, so when you take a long rest, you get, so short rests you can spend hit dice to recover HP. Long rests you gain up to half of your hit dice back, and then if you took another long rest, you could gain the other half, basically. But like if you don't, like if you spend them in the middle, you gain up to half of your total hit dice back.
So if I used one for this attack and I rest, I would get it back?
Yes.
It'd be half. Yeah, okay. Then yeah, that's what I'm gonna do then.
It's half rounded up.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so half of your, I thought it's half of your total hit dice that you have. So like if you spend 8, you would get 4 back on a long rest.
Okay, yeah. I mean I only have 3, so it'd be 1.5 back.
Right, I know what you mean. Alright,
Yeah,
so
I'll
you're
just use
gonna...
one.
Okay.
So should I roll damage on my sword first and then
Yeah, I would.
Bad kitty.
because there is a button for damage too.
Yeah, I know.
Feet to it. Okay.
Okay.
And then
It's a goblin though.
Alright, whatever. It's more visual than anything, I guess.
Dang, okay. Well, as you bring your sword down, you feel like remnants of like your visage of your of seeing this goblin right now in its state. You're tired, like, you know, almost like the blackness under your eyes, almost making the goblin appear as though it was like a foe from a former battle, as you feel the spirit of your former clansman empowering your attack. You're able to slice the goblin. How do you want to do this, Bigtoon, since you have the last hostile goblin?
I think literally I'm gonna make 2 of them, but not the way I was. I'm not gonna go hamburger. I'm gonna go hot dog.
As you're
Leave him straight through the tip of his cranium, all the way down through in between his legs.
as the extra energy from the attack empowers you to be able to bisect this creature, falling into 2 separate pieces on the side, spewing blood everywhere. You hear Irini say, "Gross," as he falls dead. Everybody outside would hear a loud thump from the sound of from the thunderous extra sound on the inside. What exactly it means, you are unsure at this time.
We could guess.
Yeah, they're getting the iron or the metal for us.
And now, as far as that hit die goes, like
You can just subtract one from your attributes page.
okay,
I have it where it's supposed to automatically do it, but it might not work that way. It might be wishful thinking yet.
there we go. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so Aethros, looks like we've got an assistant coachman. Technically.
Yeah, you know what? You won the coin toss, so up to you.
Hey, no, we did the chaos. Well, okay. So I'm gonna
It's
ride
all
this
up to
puppy.
you.
Okay,
So
all right.
You get to choose everything now.
Trade please. Want live.
Okay, so I make my way up to this goblin, and we stand near each other, and I go, you name?
And you like, I've never had the name of goblin before. Give me 2 seconds.
Snot is just.
So the 3 goblins that I met before in this campaign were Grungle, Dungle, and Chungle, if that helps you at all.
That's fine.
And Irini did write them a song.
Oh.
Name is Spit.
Spit, I love it. Okay, Spit.
Spit, here is deal. Simple. You work, live. You no work, die. Choice.
Work, live for food, please.
Wonderful. Spit, welcome to the Broken.
Oh, we didn't say we'd give him food.
You asked Kay, I hope is look, he's got to work for food. Technically, I also think goblins are cannibals, so we could kind of pick up the rest of this meat.
Yeah, he can eat his friends.
Yeah, I mean that's the. You okay? Eat leftovers, and I point at a dead goblin body.
Cook food tastes same.
Perfect. So yeah, I turn to the group and I go, perfect. So we can tie him up. I pull out like a wire. We can tie him up, and he can be coach driver or secondary, so that way we don't fuck up, or he doesn't take us anywhere weird. Everybody gets to make that decision. I search this whole thing. Is it mobile? Are these polar bears in a good mood? What's going on with this vehicle? Because I'm an excited little gnome.
Okay,
We technically out of combat now.
we are out of combat now. Yes.
Can I make my way up to the top of it?
Yes. So I will for the people who I'm assuming, like, it's like who all wants to go inside. I'm assuming most people want to go inside where there's a light source, which is probably warm, right?
I think,
Yeah.
Am I crazy in that thought?
I want to find the iron first.
I want
Yeah.
to have Athena or Arena try to talk. I want somebody to try to talk to the polar bears. I want to pet a polar.
Jesus, dude, get over these polar bears.
Yeah, I'm not
But
fully sure
they
that
look
battle's even
fluffy.
over, so I'm just kind of like trying to, see what the hell's going on. So
You would
I just
see Arini would like come up and like tap you on the shoulder, and be like, you need to sit down, bud. You're not you when you're tired.
I crawl
there may be
in.
more of them.
I crawl inside and take a full assessment. Obviously, he's delirious, so I make sure he's sitting down.
Yeah. So
There's more.
as you
There's nobody. Chill, bud. Kitty, chill. Why does it smell like lightning in here?
It's an actual Victoon laugh too, by the way.
I'm not even gonna question it at this point. I look at my two family members, and I look at Arini, knowing that Arini, this goblin is in a near fetal position. I know Arini casts command. I know it, and I just thumbs up to Arini, and I look at Victoon, and I kind of do like the not I'm petting you, but I'm like, bud, you gotta chill out. You really need some rest, buddy.
You need to finish the journal.
We did a great job, bud, and it's okay for warriors to rest.
as you're all standing on the inside, those of you who are standing on the inside, you would see that this bottom layer here has like two small torches on the far end, that they're like almost like in these like little bowls of sorts, not necessarily perched on the sides so as to not burn it to the ground.
Like little mini braziers.
Yeah. The in the back where Irini is, there is a hatch. And if you were to open the hatch, it would be, you assume it'd be for storage. Opening it up, you would find the missing ingots that you were looking for, or at least a ton of ingots if you want to count them.
I count them. I go through that whole storage locker.
I want
One,
you.
count,
2, 3, 4.
But I only find 5. Yep, they were telling the truth.
As I'm assuming you'd probably do a once over before you count them, or are you going to count them before exploring the rest of the card?
I'm gonna I was kind of like doing an outward assessment of the outside, but then I walked immediately inside because one, my family's inside. Two, I want to find, because I know my my samurai went inert as soon as it was standing directly underneath the cart. So I'm looking for that pinpoint area as I'm Kitty, relax, and oh, Arini, can we open that? And then I go in there.
I'll say I'll help him count.
Okay. As you two begin counting the ingots, you would I'm gonna pan over to Atina and Ebron since everybody's on the first floor. I think the last thing that Atina said to Ebron was that the polar bears seem nice.
Do you trust her?
Isn't Atina a druid?
Technically she's a priestess, so if I was going to give an outside of the game guess without being fully meta, she's probably a warlock, my dude.
I'm gonna just straight up ask her and be like, well, Atina, this is gonna sound childish, Do you know how to talk to animals? Like, what exactly are you? You say they seem nice, but how do you know?
Oh, I was definitely being sarcastic. I'm very glad you didn't take another step forward.
But I want to pet them.
You know, these goblins, the way they were traveling, if they had the polar bears under their command, either one of them might have been able to speak to them, or maybe they had something that allowed them to. But in the meantime, unless you had better ideas, I wouldn't recommend trying to pet them. But in my time in the north, a lot of times polar bears, especially when they're working, are generally hungry. If you have food, it is possible they might be a little less hostile.
I was gonna say, as soon as she says hungry, like, my guy's gonna position himself probably like 20 feet in front of him, assuming like the rope isn't slacked at all. I'm gonna look both dead in the eyes and just kind of like get that bonding moment, and I'm gonna toss them both one of my rations, and I'm gonna toss them my Yeti rations.
I want you to make a animal handling check to see if you can gauge their mood.
Straight normal.
Straight normal.
Oh my god, I had a small heart attack just now.
The moment...
Oh my god. Dakota, I was about to sign out of this damn Discord. I was about to be like, that's it, I'm done. Whew.
30-20.
The when you stand in front of the bears, they seem rather hostile at first, but the moment you pull out that food, their entire demeanor changes. As you throw them the food, they seem to focus on the food, and their hostility seems gone for the time being.
I'm gonna reposition myself back by Tina. I'll look at her arm and be like, okay. Hopefully that worked. How are you? Because I can clearly see an arrow inside of you. Do you want me to pull that out? Or you got it?
Hold on, I'm just trying to think of how I'd reply to that.
Yeah, that's a loaded. Are you? See again.
This is one of those like, is he just being Ebrin or is he being flirtatious Ebrin?
Right. Does Ebrin know?
Does
flirting?
Ebrin flirt?
Yeah. Is Ebrin our diamond?
The world
Well,
may
that's
never
you
know.
put something else into you.
But you could tell by Ebron's body language, like he's literally looking at her arm like, do you want help? Or are you just gonna leave it there?
You see, she looks down and realizes she has been struck by an arrow. And she's like, no, I got it. And she pulls the arrow out. And Ebrin, you notice that she doesn't bleed from the wound. And the wound slowly begins to heal itself. As she, you see her uttering like an arcane prayer of some sort. Magic beginning to like emanate off of that spot. Thank you, though. I'll be honest, for a moment there, I thought you were trying to flirt with me, and after our first encounter, I didn't think that was something that was even possible with you. Anyway,
I'm just gonna kind of blink and then walk away towards the other gnome. He headshot, and I'm gonna collect the arrow from his head. Like, I'm gonna fully internalize what she just said, blank at her, and just walk away.
and she doesn't even seem to... There's no... Actually, no, everybody else inside, you wouldn't know what she did, so never mind.
This reeks of like I was being angry with her because I like her. when we first met her.
Yeah, Ebrin is totally negging.
We can't let her help us because she's too pretty.
Yeah, that's it. You are negging Atina.
Anyway.
I mean, I did say in the beginning I hate people like her and her kind.
Which we all took as racist, but now I'm starting to see you just don't like cheerleaders.
So as we pan back inside...
Well, am I able to collect my arrow back?
Yeah, you get your
Or
arrow
is
back.
it kind of like broken and shattered? Okay, cool.
Yeah, your arrow you would be able to find. Remarkably,
Guess it's-
your position in the goblin's head is almost like perfect, like dead center in the temple. This is quite impressive.
There's technically, it's kind of like the way gators have. They have a quarter-sized spot in their skull where you can kind of get object wedged in there for an instant kill. So.
All right, you are, as you take your time to count the ingots, able to count the remaining missing ingots, which I believe is 230.
235, 236, 237. Yes! Plus the 50 at the cart leaves us with 187. 287. Sorry. If I'm not mistaken, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Your math checks out. I double checked it for you. Don't worry.
I believe him. I'm not even gonna roll it. Okay. Is there anything else in here? Or is it all the iron?
Inside the storage, you only find the iron right now. There's like some like like grime and like some like miscellaneous things from like previous travels, it seems like, but the only thing in there currently is the iron.
Okay, so I get out of that little hold. We close that hatch up.
Can I roll a sleight of hand while I'm outside? Or investigation check? I want to check the dead people if they got any money on them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and roll an investigation check. That's fine.
I'm cleaning blood off of the interior and whatever goblin schmutz is going on the inside of this place, and I'm preparing like camp on the inside.
We'll take a goblin tooth.
Okay.
Just as a trophy, because I feel like I take trophies of all my kills. So.
Okay. So, Ibran, you find like standard equipment, like you find a scimitar that you could use on each of the goblins outside. You do find a total of 10 copper pieces between the two goblins that are outside dead on the ground. If you wanted feathers from the hawk had fallen on the ground too. They're a bit fried from Athros, but they are salvageable. As far as everybody on the inside, just a quick description of the inside of this wagon carriage of sorts. Don't have a name for it. I'll probably come up with one for next time, unless you guys decide to name your ride.
Oh, I've got ideas.
There's a total of 2 internal stories. Each of them are about 25 by 20 in like length and width, and each like internal like height wise, it's about 10 feet for the ceiling. Like it's a humongous cart.
Oh, that's big.
That's huge. Yeah.
Bottom area seems to be primarily used for storage or for like if you have extra people or goblins in the cart for resting. There's not a lot that goes on down here. It's just bright enough so people can go in and out. The second story has an active, like a larger fire in the middle, seemingly used as their primary like light source to be able to see where they're going. There's a tapestry on the back that helps to keep the heat in, but you could easily find wooden boards to board it up if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have to make a whole schematic of like the internal and external of this thing for all of you.
First vehicle.
There's to get from the first story to the second story to the top. It is all a center like beam of sorts carved out of a tree trunk, and it's like a ladder, a makeshift ladder going from the first floor to the second floor, and then from the second floor there's a hatch leading to the roof.
Ono is giddy.
On the roof itself, there is a large, what appears to be like thin, like tree that's been how to describe it, been like mounted with like a deer skull and some antlers, almost as if it's like like the front like mermaid you'd find on a pirate ship. This is like the representation of that with 2 tusks in the front, in front of the wheels. Not as like skis, but like it's like extra decoration.
Oh, okay. So it's
I'll
not
post
a
a better
living
picture.
tree.
No.
Okay, I was getting like friggin' the One Piece vibes for a second. I was like, we have the Going Merry.
I'll post a picture. I just gotta
So
find
are
a
the
good one
reins
for it.
just sitting on like a driver's chair up there by the polar bears?
Yeah, they are currently kind of just hanging out up in the driver's chair. Yeah, they are. There's like a little hook that they hang on, carved out of like another deer antler of sorts, but it's usually to make the bears go, someone has to be sitting there.
I'm gonna hop up on the chair, look at Atina, like, you hopping on or what?
I'll venture inside, thanks.
As soon as she gets inside, assuming everybody's already in, I would grab the reins, slap them, and start heading backwards. The tracks we took to get here, heading back to the other ones. I got a dirty 20 on animal handling. I'm still gonna try to use it and get us going while you guys fuck around on the inside.
This guy, where's your driver's license? As soon as I feel movement, I make my way up.
Can I, like, is there, like, what are their, I want to say quotes look like?
Is there a resting area for him?
Yeah.
Well, that
Like,
yeah, I was
is it just a
cleaning
bunch
up
of
that.
bedrolls, or is there like cots? Or
It is bedrolls.
okay, well, in that case, then I'm just gonna lay mine down. Turn to whoever else is in the room at this point and be like, "Listen, I'm going CP times.
Yep.
Wake me up if you need me."
You know, you need sleep. I crawl out and go up to the top because you're obviously moving this thing and be like, did you even check if there's a brake?
The polar bears are the brake, dude.
No, there's usually a handbrake or some kind of foot lever. Oh, that is so freaking cool. That is so. God, man.
Need command.
Awesome.
Really cool, yeah.
Stop. Polar bears.
What?
I can help.
Yeah, let Spit drive, all right? He's
No, I'm not gonna
clearly
let
the expert.
Spit is co-piloting. Spit is secondary co-pilot.
It
Spit.
is like backseat
Is
driver.
Spit next to me?
Spit is currently next in between you and I, because we have now plopped next to you, and I'm in the process of trying to tie the steel wire around his wrists.
Don't worry about it. He's fine. Spit, sit down. Take the reins.
No, hold on. Wait, why? Well,
Just-
I'm gonna pull out a dagger and be like, "Look, if he does
Okay.
anything, it'll be the
Yeah.
last thing he does."
Just gently remind
You
him
and
of
I
who's
are
all
right
downstairs.
here. You and I are right here. He ain't gonna do shit, right, Spit?
What, Liv? No,
okay, well,
no betray.
okay, good, fine. I'm gonna insight check real quick.
Go for it. That'll probably be our last roll for the night.
Oh crap.
I was gonna say I was
I'm
just
gonna
trying to
guide
see if we
myself.
could get back to our part.
Crap. All right, fine. He's telling the truth. Fine. I don't get rid of all of the goblin body parts because we're gonna use them to cook for food for him and the bears. And let's. I do a quick assessment and go like, okay, just pull that ring gently because we gotta back up.
And as the party begins to set off in their newfound ride, with the missing ingots in a safe place, the goblins disposed of, I think we're gonna end it there.
Do you want me to hold off on any sort of rest? Like taking an official rest?
Yeah, we'll wait till next session for that one.
Okay, that's fine.
Good job, guys.
So much fun. That was great. That was fucking phenomenal. The crit.
Yeah, you guys were on fire. But mainly, I think so Aethros has to have the single attack max damage.
He does. It's the nasty. He has literally the highest damage. Going over my notes, he beat him by like a few points.
You beat me. No, you had 47, right?
His
That would've been-
high.
Would have been 11
Yeah,
more than my single attack max.
Yeah. 34 was one of the highest ones, and then we had that next one. Sorry, the first one was
Yeah, I think I
28.
did. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
did
first one was
36
28 from.
on the Yeti.
Yeah. And then Jesus Christ. the last thing. Hold on. The last thing before Big Toon falls asleep. Big Toon is settling in, and like I'm just double checking as he's falling asleep, and I'm like just bothering with him, and the last thing I say is I call this thing the lightning tank. Because it's clearly not a thunder tank, because I smell lightning in this dish.
Can we
Or
call it the
the
Polar
light-
Express?
I will call it the lightning claw, because that's I think more. Because
The
Thundercats.
Homemobile?
No, the Thundercats vehicle is called the It's either called the Thunder Tank or the Thunderclaw. That like Land Rover vehicle. So this one is we're just gonna call this the Thunderclaw 1.0.
The Lightning Claw?
Or your Lightning
The
Claw
pol-
1.0.
The Polar Claw?
The Polar Claw. No, because it smells like lightning. You haven't been inside. It smells like lightning on the inside.
The Lightning Polar Claw?
Get over the polar bears, okay?
Claw Lightning Polar?
That's it. You know what? You can nuzzle with them, and hopefully they won't maul you in your sleep.